citizens of Earth. It's a rat-themed edition of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, and apparently we had a rat in the system off the top. Slight delay to get the stream started today. We did have some sort of vermin chewing on a cable. That vermin has been eradicated thanks to our coup, Matthew Awanek. And, oh, yeah, he's taking something out to the dumpster right now. Hope you're having a great Friday. We certainly are having one here at Edmonton Sports Talk. The Oilers with a convincing win last night over their rivals, the Vancouver Canucks, getting set to take on Ryan McLeod and the Buffalo Sabres tomorrow. The Oilers now 30-15-3. They are fourth overall. Should be the same lineup tomorrow, though Stuart Skinner will replace Calvin Pickard in net. Remember, it's a 2 o'clock game, so live programming tomorrow on Edmonton Sports Talk. Hello Hockey with Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell from 10 to noon. And then Tom will be back on at 1 for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Game at 2 against the Sabres. And then Tom and Hernan on again for postgame. The Sabres are not having a good year, which has been the situation for them for quite a while. They are 18-25-5. They are 30th in the 32-team National Hockey League. They are last in the Eastern Conference. Tage Thompson, good player, is their leading scorer with 22 goals and 40 points. As for the aforementioned Ryan McLeod, the former Oiler, 10 goals, 14 assists for 24 points. Very likely to exceed his career high of 30 points in a season, which he set last year with the Oilers. He also comes in with 99 career points. So a bit of a scene set for tomorrow's game. Jason Milne, how are you doing?
Reid, I am fantastic. And just of note, because yes, Ryan McLeod was injured, but it was just reported within the last hour that he will be playing against the Oilers.
Good stuff.
After that 3-game stint on the shelf.
Did he miss 3? I didn't realize he missed that many. Okay. Thanks for jumping in there. That would have been embarrassing if I wouldn't give him all the stats. Then you're like, Reid, he's out.
Well, Reid,
I goof up all the time,
morning,
though.
As of this morning, he was. This is breaking news.
This is awesome.
I bet you he wishes he was out, though.
Zachary Kubusch is here as well. Kub, my man, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Coop's
the rats
stressed.
are annoying.
Coop's a little stressed.
Well, it's Kub's stressed. That's why I'm trying to give you a welcoming feeling of the show. You did a good job. I know we had some technical glitches off the top. It happens. We're fine.
Got you back.
We're off and running. We used to have, when I worked, look, technical glitches are part of broadcasting.
Sure.
Ched sometimes got knocked off the air. I remember this wasn't a technical glitch, but I remember once the Oilers were playing against the Rangers at Madison Square Garden, and Stoff calls me like 20 minutes before the face-off show was supposed to start, and he always did the opening segment of the face-off show with me, and he goes, "There's no engineer here. There's no equipment." Because the visiting radio guys don't travel with equipment. It's provided. He's like, we can't get on the air. I was like, okay. He's like, they're trying to help and get us somebody. So I rearranged the order of things I was going to do on the face-off show, and they did get somebody there, but they had to call in like the emergency engineer because the guy that usually does the Rangers games at Madison Square Garden forgot when the game was or something like that. So that wasn't a technical glitch, but that was kind of fun. I remember when I was working in Lloydminster, it was a low-budget station, and sometimes things broke or they weren't attended to as much as you would have liked. So I remember doing a late-night sportscast, okay? And
set the scene.
It was Game 5 of the 2001 World Series. Now, I want people to remember that one. This was the World Series after 9/11. Diamondbacks and Yankees. The Yankees had won Game 4 by tying the game in the bottom of the 9th and then hitting a home run in extra innings. The same thing happened in Game 5. I think one game-winning home run was in the 10th and one was in the 11th. But remember, the Diamondbacks had that reliever, Bunny Kim, Byung-Hyun Kim. They called him Bunny Kim, and he was like unhittable in the regular season, and then he gave up these homers in the World Series. So anyway, sometimes things worked, and it's late night. There's nobody there to fix anything. So, and for some reason in Lloydminster, we didn't use what are called IFBs, the little earpieces, where the control room could talk to you. We just would have a floor director, but at late night, there wasn't even a floor director. So And sometimes when I would go into the sports, the news person would leave and go back to his or her desk for 10 minutes. So you're alone in the studio.
Sure.
So there was a problem that they couldn't play tape. Like the tape machine, something happened with, like, we were using beta tapes, the big beta tapes. I don't know if people have even seen those. So something glitched. So I'm leading with this World Series highlights. So you're on camera, and then you kind of, know where your highlights are going, and nothing's happening. Like I can see in the monitor, I'm still on screen. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, bottom of the second, the first play was some line drive that a fielder made a great catch on. And so I knew that was the first highlight. So finally I get to, okay, we're going to, finally you just kind of have to telegraph that you waiting for the highlights. So then I was like, okay, well, yeah, we're going to start the highlights here, bottom of the second. Then at this point, I just avert my gaze from the camera and look down at my notes. Because now at this point, it's unnatural how long I'm looking at the camera, and this game I'm talking about, the highlights aren't being played. So I'm like, okay, we're going to start off bottom of the second inning, line drive. I think it was Craig Counsell. I still remember the second baseman for the Diamondbacks made some diving catch. And I was like, okay, so finally I'm like, well, do we have these highlights? Even though I know they can't talk to me, we might actually, there might have been a floor director, because I think I remember him going, I think he was on a headset to the control, and he that's always for people listening on the stream. He gives me the shrug. He didn't do shrug shoulders. He didn't do the thumbs up, the palms up. He did both together.
Ooh,
it was double. The double. He doesn't he's not getting any direction either. So finally, I'm like, okay, well, I remember saying, well, I hope we have these highlights, because this was a heck of a game, another amazing finish in New York. And then you kind of pause for a sec, hoping something's going to happen, or the floor director is going to give you either a skip it or point to the monitor like they're coming. He's still giving me one of these. So finally, I say, all right, well, could we put something on television other than me? So then they just put up the Chiron page, or the scoreboard, whatever it's called, depending on what station. So then they just put up the scoreboard, Diamondbacks 3, Yankees 4 series.
Oh,
I was like, okay, yeah, it was a great game. And then I think they got the tape machine working, and they played the highlights. I don't know what order we did everything.
What station was this?
This was the Lloyd station. So in 2001, it eventually became New Cap Television. At that point, it still would have been called. So it was a twin stick, which means it was both a CBC affiliate and a CTV affiliate.
Okay.
So there were two master controls. So there was CBC programming and CTV programming, but when our local news was on, it was on both stations.
So this was the local news for the evening. This was
like the late night sportscast that I did, yeah.
So what was it called? The show?
I think it was just called News Hour.
Because, Dutchie used to have Sports Night.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a dedicated.
You didn't have a dedicated show.
I did a 7. I don't know how long
you were
it was.
The sports guy on the
right,
evening
so
news.
the news was on till 11:20, and then I did the sports from 11:23 to 11:30 or 33 or whatever. So that was. I mean, there's a point sometimes with technical stuff. As a broadcaster, you're taught, work through it. Don't draw too much attention to it. Don't throw colleagues under the bus. But I was so long where obviously something was wrong, and I wasn't getting any direction. So I finally just said, could we put something on television other than me? So they heard that. Because if they would have said, you have hand signals for stuff. They could have, or he could have just yelled at me, we'll do it later, go to the next story.
Sure.
Then I would have been like, okay, you know what? Looks like we'll get to the baseball later.
Anything.
Let's look at how the Lloyd Comp football team did today or whatever. So stuff happens.
It does.
So it doesn't. It usually doesn't faze me too much. I mean, you don't like it when it happens, but I don't get all panicking and be like, well, that's the end of my career. That's it. Station's done. Stuff happens.
Stuff happens, Reid. It's, rats chew through wires.
Rats chew through wires all the time. Now, we have several topics today. They're all rat-themed. Well, most of them are rat-themed. So this isn't even the off-topic topic. You'd make a beautiful rat, Jay.
Thank you. I think.
So when rats get married, do they complement beauty or ugliness?
Ooh, maybe smell.
Oh, Marlena.
Length of tail.
You're the ugliest rat I've ever seen.
I wonder if the biggest rats, the biggest, baddest rats, and they measure their manhood or strength with the length of tail.
How many cans can you chew through?
Yeah.
So this is not the off-topic topic, but this is a topic. Well, I guess we can have two off-topic topics. Who's the most effective rat in NHL history? I already threw this into the nasty chat. And if you are watching on YouTube, there are a bunch of ways to take in the show. One of them is going to the Edmonton Sports Talk channel on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give the show a thumbs up if you haven't already. If everybody did it now, we'd already be in double word of the day territory. So go click the thumbs up, make it a happy Friday. Certainly Ken Linsman getting some votes. But give us the best rat. Oh, Mex Bezozu. Jeremy Rodentnik. But that's the interesting thing about Corey Perry, who we're going to talk about today. He's a highly skilled player who's a highly skilled rat. Like Leon Draisaitl is an aggressive and chippy player and sometimes a little dirty, but I wouldn't call him a full-on rat. Like Perry can be a full-on rat as well as a guy who scored 50 goals and won the Hart Trophy.
I don't think you could complete this list without Claude Lemieux.
Yeah.
I mean, those battles that they had with the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, that was a good point.
That was epic.
And a current player who we won't name right now, who actually rat might not even be an appropriate term for him because he did something that you showed me last night, which was shocking, quite frankly. But that's a little tee up for something coming up in about 20 to 40 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So that's question number one. And by the way, you can also email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Send your limericks there. I already got a limerick in today from the Big Uke. We'll read that later today. We'd love it if you could work something rat-themed into your limerick. And you can also text the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant. All-you-can-eat prime rib buffet, or as we used to say in Evansburg, buffet, for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. Why are you all happy?
Oh, Tube Socks chimed in here. I got to read this right now because it's just so relevant to the story you just told about your incident in Lloyd. Reid, there was an SCTV news skit, where Earl Camembert was talking about the Melonville bus races, and they were supposed to throw to the highlights, and he stared uncomfortably right at the camera for almost 3 minutes, and the highlights never came.
That's pretty good.
He says, "You've lived that."
I sort of have lived that. Yes.
Yeah. Bree Lando chimes in. It says Chris G is a rat.
Well, that's a whole other story.
That was just
we'll talk about as well.
That took the hangout by surprise. This morning.
Matt Cook, Darren McCarty. Somebody put in Lemieux. Esa Tikkanen, that's a good one. Yeah, Linsman might get a lot of. Sean Avery. Yeah, Sean Avery.
Yeah.
And Sean Avery was truly despised. Like I know Rob. Like there were a lot of players Rob didn't like playing against, but. Like he didn't like Sean Avery just as a human being as well. Well, probably still doesn't. So that's one off-topic topic. And of course, our off-topic topic is presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. The other off-topic question is, have you ever seen a rat? Now, supposedly, as some say in the furniture industry, there are no rats in Alberta. Now, I think there are rats in Alberta, but they get killed, hopefully as quickly as possible.
Reid, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about rats in Alberta.
The top three is Jay has taken over the top three today, which is fine. Right? I got a secret for everybody. Don't tell Jay. I did very little work today.
What was that?
So that's another off-topic topic. Have you ever seen a rat in Alberta or otherwise? I saw one scurrying along the side of a building while I was walking at night in Seattle. So it was very quick. It was very large, like not cat sized, but probably closer to cat sized than mouse sized. But I didn't really have any interaction with it. We didn't have a conversation.
Maybe a 3-month kitten size?
Sure.
Yeah. Just for
3 months, 2 days, Jay.
Of course.
So that's the off-topic topic for William Huff. All right. We got a lot to get to. We're going to have a fun show. It's Friday. The Oilers cooked the Canucks last night. Corey Perry ratted it up. Here comes Zachary Kubusch.
Four games dot the NHL slate with Utah on the road in Winnipeg. The Stars facing the Golden Knights and the Flyers battling the Islanders while the Blackhawks challenge the Lightning. In New Jersey, Jacob Markstrom is out 4 to 6 weeks after he sprained his MCL Wednesday night, while Bruins' Jake Brazo crashed into his net, and that makes him doubtful for the Four Nations face-off. Elsewhere, former Oiler Sam Gagner signed a professional tryout with the Belleville Senators of the AHL. Meanwhile, the Oil Kings play the Warriors. Lethbridge hosts Red Deer, while the Blades drop the puck against the Raiders on a 9-game WHL slate. And down south, longtime Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll has signed with the Raiders on a 3-year deal, having a 4th-year option with the contract. And for the Texans, offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick has been relieved of his duties, while the Jags have hired Liam Cohen as their next head coach. In basketball, there's just 3 games, with the Cavs throwing down against the 76ers, New Orleans visiting Memphis, and the Trailblazers taking on the Hornets. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years, their showroom offers all the best and latest in flooring, tiles, and area rugs. Find them at the corner of 184th Street and 107th Ave. They're open 7 days a week, and tell them EST sent you for 10% off your next purchase. Shop in-store or online at ParamountFlooring.ca. We have a quick timeout before the Reid Wilkins Show returns here on EST. I'm Zachary Kubusch.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Fuge Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store, or use the code EST when shopping online at fugesausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Fuge Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
The grand opening sale at Sit and Sleep is almost over. This is your last chance to take advantage of the special introductory sale prices on all mattresses. Stop in today for a free pressure point scan using cutting-edge technology so sleepologists can identify the perfect mattress for you. Right now, get free local delivery on any mattress over $7.99 and receive a free bamboo cooling mattress protector. Enjoy grand opening savings with every mattress on sale. Join us on location today for the final celebrations at Sit and Sleep in South Common next to Planet Fitness. Don't miss out. The grand opening sale ends soon.
Matthew Kachuk posting in the nasty chat an emoji of a rat and an emoji of a king's crown. That's pretty good. Mike, the Michigan fan, Dino Cicerelli was a rat. T-Man voting for Matt Cook. I'm just going to get to a few of them here. Sexy 5 Sensi says, I've seen muskrats. Does that count? It does not. Rush Jericho says, I've seen rats, but I live in the northwest of England. LOL. Did we know that Rush Jericho lived in England? I didn't know that.
I did not.
How come he listens to us? Matthew Kachuk getting another vote. Would Matthew Owanek fall into the rat category? Somebody else asks. No, I would not account. He's actually a very nice person. He's just persnickety. And Ryan Kessler getting a mention in there. Bieksa and Kessler both mentioned by T-Man. One of our off-topics. This is the off-topic topics for William Huff is best rat in NHL history, and have you ever seen a rat, and what were the circumstances?
I've never seen a rat. I would like to see a rat.
And you'd be more likely to see one because you live in a rural environment.
I don't believe it matters.
Well, I guess they could be anywhere.
They're eradicated. They're not in Alberta.
They're eradicated?
But I've seen a muskrat. They are the water version of a rat, I believe. Actually, rats are good swimmers.
Are they?
I read that when I was
This is one of the many things. He spent about 2 hours today prepping for the rat stuff, and I was just kind of like, yeah, I'll do my rat prep later. And then at about 2:15, I said, do you have lots on rats? And Jay gave me this like incredibly intense gaze and nodded, and I said, okay, I'm not doing any rat prep then.
I've got an uncomfortable amount of rat.
It's a shocking amount of rat information from Jay coming up a little bit later on. Let's talk a little bit about the game last night. First of all, the Oilers play well. I mean, we broadcast a show. Like, I don't know if you noticed this. Like, the station is called Edmonton Sports Talk. Obviously, we're going to talk about Edmonton teams, sports, and athletes.
Who's saying we shouldn't?
Yeah, exactly. So, we watch more from an Oilers type of perspective, and they played well. But I also thought for the first about 32 minutes of the game that might be one of the worst performances by an Oilers opponent this season. I mean, the Pittsburgh 4-0 shutout was pretty bad. They beat Minnesota 7-1, though Minnesota weren't they missing 4 or 5 players in that game as well? I'm probably missing a game or two, but if that wasn't the worst a team has played against Edmonton, and from a Vancouver perspective, from a Canucks perspective, they are fighting for a playoff spot.
Yes.
I mean, they're desperate. And now there's all this other noise around the team with JT Miller, and we had Matt Sakaris on the other day, not just to do word of the day. He talked about the Canucks as well. I mean, Vancouver was barely visible, I thought, for about the first half of the game. They didn't forecheck. They didn't hit. They had a couple offensive chances that Picker stopped. They weren't very good in their own end. They took too many penalties, notably Vinny Desharnais, who took 3 of them. They got a little bit of life. And then in the third period, Edmonton did what they needed to do, and Corey Perry went to work and drew Teddy Bluger into a non-fight that negated what would have been Vancouver's only power play of the game. So I thought the Oilers played well, and Vancouver, to me, just looked generally out of sorts. I mean, we use that word identity a lot.
Yeah.
Like the Canucks looked like a team without an identity.
Well, and Reid, on the GCL Diesel pregame show yesterday, Irfan Ghaffar came on, and he said that is the problem that's plagued that Canucks team since the start of the season is inconsistency. Who are they? What team shows up? That was not the same team that showed up last Saturday. There was not any semblance of that team last night. That was a team, and then you combine that with an Oilers team that had a goal. They came out strong.
Yep.
You have to credit the Oilers for coming out aggressive and putting the gas pedal down. But that is the Canucks. That is them as the Canucks fans know it.
And that's sort of why they win a couple and then they lose a couple and then they can't get anything going. So, but the game the Oilers needed, I thought once again, Draisaitl, powerhouse is the word I've started using. Hyman played great. Well, I mean, who didn't play great? A lot of players. I thought Noah Philp looked very comfortable. He delivered a couple nice checks, got an assist, took a shot. And you know what? On that 2-on-1 he had in the third period, good for him, because sometimes, I got to pass. Yeah. I'm the new guy. I got to pass. Pass wasn't there. He took a shot. Trusted that he could beat a goalie. Just an all-around good game for Edmonton. Do it again against Buffalo tomorrow. Don't. I hate the word trap game, but if I did use the term trap game, I might look at tomorrow a little bit. But play solid, play consistent again tomorrow, and then you get McDavid back for Monday.
Yeah, it's nice to see Nuge get going. It looked like the whole team just had a little bit of that attitude.
Right.
right? That attitude of we don't care what game you bring, we're bringing our game, and that's good enough.
And to me, that's very important.
Yeah.
Play the same way. Have your standard and hit that standard. What's one thing sometimes good teams or Oilers teams in the past have been criticized? Well, they played down to the level of their opposition.
Exactly.
And granted, I know the Oilers had some games they fell behind in and maybe didn't play full 60-minute games recently, but it was like even without McDavid, there wasn't that drop off from line to line, which was a problem earlier in the season and has been problems in other incarnations of this team since McDavid and Draisaitl have been on the roster. It's like, the top offensive guys go out, whether it's one line or two lines, and they forecheck and they get chances, and then lines 3 and 4 come on and they're hemmed in again, and then that wastes the next shift from the good guys. It was a pretty consistent effort. Like I mentioned, Philp getting the assist, had another chance. Kapanen got a goal. Jeff Skinner on the replacing Arvidsson on the first unit power play was very good. We're going to hear from him. He's playing his former team tomorrow as well. So that was just a solid, encouraging game for the Oilers. And again, they only lost 2 in a row. It didn't get to 3. They nip it in the bud, right? And they didn't like we talked about, they didn't play bad against the Capitals, but they didn't get the result. So they come out there and they steady it, and now the next 4 games at home with the opportunity to bank some more points. I mean, they're 4th overall. They're a good team.
I want to get to a text that came in on the River Cree inbox. Please, if you want your opinion shared, feel free to send them in, 780-218-9999. This came in from Reid Wilkins Show poet laureate William Mike Spear. Hey guys, Corey Perry appreciation text. I feel like he was insulted after the Vancouver media spent all week saying that Connor Garland was public enemy number 1, and he was in the Oilers' heads. So Perry went out and showed them how it was done. Then when he saw he was under the Canucks' skin, in immortal words of Yamo, he was like an anaconda.
Jamo.
Play it.
Honda taking down a pig.
I got to replay it. In the immortal words of he's saying Jamo.
Yeah, Jamo. He's saying
man,
Jamo.
I'm sorry,
Dave
William.
Jamieson.
Yeah, in the immortal words of Jamo.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
There you go.
But I will say this. If I were a Canucks fan like Jasmine, I'm trolling her because she's not listening today. But I would say this. If I were an NHL GM or coach, crazy what if, and you said to me, you got to take Connor Garland on your team, I'd say, okay, I'll find a spot for him.
Absolutely.
Like I noticed him last night. He's involved. Did you notice Pettersson? No. I know Besser scored a nice goal. Okay, but did he have a great game? I still noticed Miller at times, even though I know he's on his way out and his effort is questioned.
I noticed Desharnais.
You noticed Desharnais for the wrong reasons, for sure. But given what Vancouver needed and where they are in the standings, that would be a disappointing game for them. But I'm not I know Oilers fans hate Connor Garland right now when he's going to get booed, but that's his game. Like he's the type of player where if he's not getting booed, why is he in the NHL? Like I've said it all week. He's 5'10". Like he's got skill. He's not going to score 50, but if he doesn't play with a chip on his shoulder and agitate people, then wouldn't have lasted this long in the NHL. And I thought he showed more gumption than a lot of his teammates last night.
Yeah, that type of player any team would take. That's a grit. That's sandpaper in your lineup that you need.
Right. But there's, I know we have some people in the nasty chat, some listeners who, question some lineup decisions. And look, the Oilers aren't a perfectly constructed team. I get that. And the goal is not to beat Vancouver last night. It's to win the Stanley Cup. But you got to play those games along the way. But, we get, why does Janmark play? But you saw Janmark last night. Like, he's involved. He makes smart plays with the puck. Like, he kills penalties. He's around both nets when it's needed, so that's why he played. Like Vancouver could have used a Janmark last night, I think. Like you need a kind of a motor, like what is the term you use? Like some guys just have a motor.
High motor.
It doesn't mean that they're fast necessarily. It's just that
they're going.
Okay, I got gas in the tank. Where do I need to be? Yeah. Do I got to kill a penalty? Do I got to block a shot? Do I need to face wash a guy? Like, what am I doing?
Whatever it takes kind of guys.
Right.
Every team needs them.
We'll talk more about Corey Perry, and we want to get to some clips from today's practice as well, as the Oilers skated at noon, preparing for the 2:00 game tomorrow against the Buffalo Sabres. We are in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Website is jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. My buddy Zachary Kubusch with a sports update.
A light NHL slate has Tampa Bay out in Chicago, Dallas hosting Vegas, the Flyers taking on the Islanders, while the Jets meet the Hockey Club. And out east, the Devils will miss Jacob Markstrom for up to 6 weeks after he suffered an MCL sprain Wednesday night. The injury makes Markstrom questionable for the upcoming Four Nations face-off. And for the Leafs, Matthew Nyes is listed as day-to-day with an upper body injury. In the AHL, the Belleville Senators have signed former Oilers Sam Gagner to professional tryout, while back in Edmonton, the Oil Kings hit the ice against the Warriors. The Cougars face the Wheat Kings, and Kelowna plays Kamloops. For the Golden Bears men's hockey team, they're out in Saskatchewan to butt heads with the Huskies tonight and tomorrow. Meanwhile, NFL News sees the Raiders signing longtime Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll to a 3-year deal with a 4th-year option available. And in Houston, Bobby Slowick, Texans offensive coordinator, has been fired, while in Jacksonville, Liam Cohen has been hired as the newest head coach of the Jags. On the court, Cleveland takes on Philly, Pelicans tip off against the Grizzlies, and the Trailblazers go at it with the Hornets having just 3 games in the NBA. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get your donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Find out how you can make an impact at findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. The Reid Wilkins Show returns on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and that was your sports update.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. Thanks, Coob. Joaquin Gage and Hernan Salas out in the bullpen. They had a great show from 1 to 3. This afternoon, Jay Milne was on the Hangout. Earlier today, we got a limerick from Grumpy Cat. On the Hangout, a conspiracy did unveil. Oh, wow, how Tommy, Maddie, and Jay did wail. A rat mimicked a teeth, sounded like roast beef. Chris D did go to L.A. and probably ate kale. That's pretty good. Where did we get that one? That's Nelson Munns from The Simpsons.
That's a Coob original, baby.
Thanks, Kubo. Maybe that's Coob laughing like that. The Simpsons has been on television longer than Coob has been alive.
That's
Probably
a good
double
point.
that, no?
No.
So it's 30-some years, isn't it?
89?
Is it 36?
I'm
According
not 18.
to Matt Owanek. Hey, thanks, Encyclopedia Brown. Who read Encyclopedia Brown? Anybody? Just me, I guess.
Andrea from Calgary says, growing up in Windsor, Ontario, rats could be seen in alleys, especially on garbage days.
Oh,
Yeah, our neighbors would let each other know if they saw one, so we'd avoid cutting through the alley, and my mom would occasionally give reminders of, watch out for rats, if we were putting the garbage can out in the evening. Golly. Apparently rats are quite the problem in BC. Several people coming in. Now, I don't know if I'm getting henwayed with that, but, you know.
the off-topic topic. Biggest rat ever in the NHL, and have you ever seen a rat, and what were the circumstances? And now you can also say if you've read Encyclopedia Brown. Joe Cool says, I read Encyclopedia Brown. Encyclopedia Brown was a kid sleuth in his school or in his neighborhood, and you would read the story. A book was, I don't know, a few stories maybe, and then you would try to figure out what happened, and then you turn to a page in the back of the book, and like Encyclopedia Brown would give you the solution.
Like Choose Your Own Adventure?
It wasn't like Choose Your Own Adventure. It was like a Solve the Mystery. It wasn't. It was. So you would read an 8-page story.
Got it.
Right. So little Jingles vomited on Grandma's bed on Christmas Eve. Just as an example of a story.
And
defecated.
Yeah.
So Encyclopedia Brown has to figure out who fed little Jingles what that caused the stomach upset. So he would go around the Christmas party, and then at the end he would say, "Aha! I know it was you, Jablonski. There's a T." So then it would say, "How did Encyclopedia Brown figure out that it was Jablonski?" So he would have to go. Then you'd have to kind of figure out, and then you turn to a page at the back and it'd say, "For the solution, go to page 102."
I can't take it anymore.
Right?
I've never heard of that. I've never read it, but I will. Did you grow up in a home that had, I bet your answer is yes, that had a full encyclopedia set? Like
yes, there would have
letters
been.
A through Z.
I don't know if there was 26 books, but we had some. I think we had the Canadiana Encyclopedia or
My
something
parents
like that.
still have that.
Oh, wow.
A through Z. Each, you could, it was actually kind of neat.
I don't recall looking at them very much.
I used to
like
all the
looking
time.
at maps when I was a kid. And especially when I liked sports, because then I'd be like, oh, that's where Buffalo is, and they play St. Louis, and that's how far apart they are.
We have a bird book at our home. That's one of our most used books because there's often, as much as I hate birds, I love watching them and seeing them. I feed birds. We have lots of bird feeders. So we often see different birds and varieties come through. So we have this bird book that gets quite a bit of use.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, we just put a sticky note inside when we discover a new bird.
Scotty knows in the nasty chat, the diabolical dialogue. Keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube, by the way. If everybody just did it right away, we are well into Word of the Day territory, probably double Word of the Day territory. So don't be a pleasure delayer. Make us happy on a Friday afternoon. About rats, Scotty knows says, haven't seen one myself, but many different people that have worked at West Ed have said they've seen rats there, at least until the rat patrol arrives. Aha. Yeah, exactly. And Les says, I remember reading Encyclopedia Brown. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Oilers skater. Should we do? We should do the. We got to do the Oilers Understood.
Oh yeah, we have to.
Yeah. By the way,
we can't quite go off the rails yet.
Friday, we're in a good mood. So I mean, this show could bounce around more than it usually does.
Yeah,
it often does.
This will get off the rails. It's just not yet. It's not the time yet.
Well, because there's stuff coming I don't know about.
Exactly.
Which is going to be fun. The Oil Understood is presented by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel! Understood. All right. Let's just hit some audio highlights from practice today. Knobloch spoke. Jeff Skinner spoke. Skinner was obviously with the Buffalo Sabres prior to coming to Edmonton. But first of all, one of the things Jay and I were talking about, and that I think we have talked about a few times this season, just that the Oilers are fairly steady, consistent performance, able to handle different forms of adversity in games generally very well. We talked about the comebacks. Last night they used an appropriate amount of aggression, or maybe at right times, which we'll talk about too. But Knobloch was asked, how come your team just seems to handle their emotions so well?
Well, I think just this group has been together. The majority of the guys have been together for a long period of time, and when you are familiar with your surroundings and your teammates, it helps overcome any adversity. But I think just the experience that they've gone together, whether through playoffs or regular season, obviously last year's playoff run, there's been a lot of adversity moments where things have, where you could say things have hit the fan, and they've handled it well. And now it's regular season, and them being able to handle it so well during the playoff run, just now in the regular season, it's very easy for them.
All right. So again, experience. They're the oldest team in the league. Like detective. What's the detective that's seen some stuff? Buggins. That's who's that guy in the corner? That's Detective Buggins. He's seen some stuff. They've seen some stuff.
Yes.
They know. They know. Like, is that okay? Let me throw this at you, because this is a term that is sometimes used derogatorily, as a derogative. Are the Oilers good at game management?
Yes. Very good.
When it comes to both the score, the time remaining, the game situation, and when do we need to...
Switches on, switches off.
Right. So last night, and they said it, they were almost kind of mocking it a little bit after the game. Like, there was all this outside noise around this game. There was nothing in here. We wanted to win a hockey game. Like, there was no... let's kill Connor Garland, let's beat up G. Like, there was none of that. Having said that, when there was a scrum, what did Corey Perry make sure he did?
Mm-hmm.
He threw Quinn Hughes to the ice.
And credit to Koob for putting that beautiful picture on our thumbnail.
That's what
Corey Perry, drilling him down into the ice. And you know what? Quinn Hughes is an excellent player. But that's the difference, right? No penalty there, right? Corey Perry knew where the game was. He knew what the state of the referees were. He made a calculated decision to insert himself right then. Didn't cost the team, and what happened after that, which we'll get into. But
yeah,
it was beautiful to see,
because that's the one that started with Garland smacking at Pickard's glove. Which again,
it's okay
if I'm watching that and I don't really care. I'm like, okay, like Garland.
It was just because it was
the
him.
Puck,
yeah.
and you want that guy on your team. You know what? I might be a split second late and hit the goalie's glove. Like, yeah, because you want the guy who's like, I'm not going to quit on the play. And then so Nurse.
I wish there was more Oilers like that, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. Nurse gets in there on Garland. Everybody gathers around. Perry's back, and he looks because he had to skate around to the other side of the scrum to get Hughes, and that's what we talked about. I'm not saying go out there and be incredibly violent, but if you can do something to make it uncomfortable for a good player, as Garland was trying to do to McDavid, even if you got to put your foot over the line, then go ahead and do it.
And sorry, you're right. I meant in the sense that the Oilers were not shorthanded from that.
Yeah, because Garland got 4 minutes, and I think Nurse and Perry got penalties, didn't they? So he got a penalty, but he didn't make it shorthanded out of that. So anyway. A little bit there on how the Oilers handle some emotional situations. Jeff Skinner, former Buffalo Sabre, he was asked how he felt when these Sabres bottom out.
I don't know. I mean, I think some time has passed, so it's less fresh and sort of it's hard to kind of go back and sort of think about what exactly kind of emotions you're having in that moment, because kind of I think as you go along, the memories kind of, I don't know if they fade or warp, but you don't have sort of a fresh perspective on it. It's hard to articulate it. I think for me, kind of, I think I've been around long enough to sort of pick up on some of the signs that things were headed in the direction they were headed, and I think it's sort of counterproductive, really, to dwell on the past and to sort of think about things that aren't in your control. So I think for me, just focusing on sort of the new opportunity and moving on to the next opportunity was kind of what I focused on. And I was really excited to sign here. And now we're here.
Jeff Skinner, 6 years with Buffalo, 427 games, 153 goals, 291 points. It's funny. He had a couple of seasons in Buffalo that weren't great. He scored, so out of his 6 seasons, he scored 33 or more goals thrice. He had a 40-goal season in Buffalo his first year, and it's kind of remembered as, he wasn't very good there. Well, he actually was still kind of the Jeff Skinner that he's been through most of his career. And Chris Knobloch commented on Jeff Skinner having some more scoring chances lately, especially on the power play last night.
Well, I think just this group has been together. The majority of the guys have been together for a long period of time, and when you are familiar with your surroundings and your teammates, it helps overcome any adversity. But I think just the experience that they've gone together, whether through playoffs or regular season, obviously last year's playoff run, there's been a lot of adversity moments where things have, where he's been around the net quite a bit. And yesterday, being on the first unit power play, that helps. But really been snake bitten lately. For me, indicator for me, if a player's playing well, it's not necessarily looking at the point column, seeing if they scored each night or getting an assist. It's getting scoring chances, and he has been doing that, and it's just been very unfortunate the puck hasn't been going in at a rate that he's definitely used to. And last night was probably one of his games where he had more opportunities than in the past, and I feel it's just a matter of time before they start going in for him, and just not one or two, but in bunches.
Jeff Skinner last night played 13 minutes, 34 seconds, had 3 shots on goal. And of his time, he played .631 on the power play. So almost half of his total game time was with the man advantage. He had 3 good chances. I thought Demko, maybe his best saves of the night were certainly 2 of the ones. Well, no, because he had those 2 chances close together. And then he had that other one that he tried to put underneath Demko. That was another really good chance. Well, Demko's best save actually was maybe denying Hyman the hat trick on the pass from Henrique, and then he made some good saves on Skinner as well. So, look, encouraging for Skinner to step in, because Arvidsson got that first look, replacing McDavid on the power play. The power play was much better last night. Much better.
Hyman realistically could have had 4 goals.
He had an awesome game.
It was amazing. I thought that was one of his most... I don't know. And let me ask you this. Because I was talking with my buddy, Sickler came over last night. He had to grab some gear for his hockey tournament. He needed some Western gear. So he came over for a visit and a beer, and we were watching the end of the game. And we were just both talking about how awesome Hyman was playing. And he said, do you think the bubble makes a difference?
Yes.
And I absolutely think it does.
Now, he still scores some nice goals with the bubble. But
100%.
He said once, I can't remember after which game or maybe after practice, he did say it's just... It feels different. It affects your breathing. When you look down for the puck in your feet, it affects what you can see. So, yeah, he was probably relieved to have it off. Good finish on both goals. Like you said, a couple other chances. And good, we know Hyman is a good teammate. I think that's apparent. We don't have to... I know sometimes I say, well, we don't know what he's like in the room. But I think with Hyman, you kind of do know what he's like in the room.
Yeah.
And I know hockey players have that culture of making sure you spread the credit around, but that was pretty cool that he just pointed right at Philp and went right to him after that pass.
That was really nice to see the excitement for Hyman. Hyman got the goal, and I think he was more excited for Philp.
Yeah,
for being aggressive and getting the puck in there. And you're right. Philp did have a noticeably good game. Not so much in the circle, but what's going on? Since he's been called up, he hasn't been as I guess prevalent in the circle.
He had that one game, I think he was 4 out of 5. I didn't even look at what he was last night.
It's 22% or something?
2 out of 9. Yeah, not great. I think the newer players to the NHL have to learn some nuances in the face-off circle. There's a lot of strength and craftiness involved, and I think you have to get to know...
I can only imagine.
I think you have to get to know the linesmen. Like, what's their timing for dropping the puck? How did they all kind of do it their own way? Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level of ultra cool. TrackMan golf simulators now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit thecanadianicehouse.com.
I was just thinking that would be a funny skit, like an SNL skit to have a linesman that's just drop. Oh, gotcha.
Keeps faking it. Yeah. Well, I think Leon feels like that sometimes.
I think he feels like it's
based on
every
how
day.
often he gets thrown out. All right. Keep your submissions coming in to the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999, into the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Continue to flick the thumbs up on YouTube as well. We have a really good pace. We have a really good audience today, so let's drive those thumbs as high as we can get. Our first plateau was 100, and we want to get that out of the way as quickly as possible. That could happen in about 20 seconds if everybody just gets in there and clicks. So let's do that. And again, we're not just doing it so like, hey, we feel good about the thumbs. It helps the algorithm with the show, so it gets suggested to people who like Edmonton sports. So help
and rats
help grow. Yeah, and rats today. So help grow the Nasty Club, as we like to say. And read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. I do have another limerick. I'd love to get 5 limericks today.
Ooh, that would be a show record.
That would be a show record. I have 2. Read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. I'd love to get 3 more limericks in the next 2 hours. We will have buying or selling. We will look east at another rat, as well as more Oilers discussion. Here comes after the break. You'll have the Cube.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your bad game. Play more tables and games.
PlayMoreGames.ca.
On the ice, Philly hits the road in Long Island. The hockey club battles the Jets. Chicago hosts Tampa Bay, and the Stars face off with the Golden Knights. Meanwhile, the Oilers are back in action tomorrow against the Sabres with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 1 right here on EST. And for the Devils, Jacob Markstrom is out 4 to 6 weeks after sustaining an MCL sprain after Justin Brazeau of the Bruins crashed into his net on Wednesday. In Edmonton tonight, the Oil Kings face the Warriors. Medicine Hat takes on Spokane, while the Americans play the Winterhawks, and the Golden Bears are also in action tonight, going up against the Huskies on a back-to-back. And the NFL sees Pete Carroll becoming the head coach of the Raiders. The Texans firing offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick, while the Jags named Liam Cohen as their next head coach. And just 3 games in the association tonight has New Orleans challenging Memphis. Cavs and 76ers tipping off, while the Trailblazers and Hornets throw it down. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The second hour, the Reid Wilkins Show, starts right now.
you heard Coop mention that Oil Kings game tonight. We had Kevin Radomski, their director of business operations, on the show yesterday, playing Moose Jaw, who they should beat. I was talking to Mooner in the press box last night, and Moose Jaw was a team not doing well that also sold off, traded away a lot of good players at the deadline to try to build for the future. So if you're going to the game tonight, I think the Oil Kings, I don't know if you can bet on WHL games, but they should be heavily favored. And it's also the wrestling night.
Oh, right.
With the Love Wrestling.
Yes.
What is it? Pre-game matches and intermission matches that Kevin was telling us about. So it'll be a fun night. Fun night for sure. So 7 o'clock tonight for that. Oilers tomorrow at 2 on Edmonton Sports Talk. 10 a.m. Hello Hockey with Tom and Belzy. And then 1 p.m. pregame show, Oil Stream, with Tom and Hernan.
Have you ever been to like amateur wrestling?
Yes.
Yeah?
I'd Lloyd, yeah.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
they had
great.
me MC it once. Yeah.
Pretty entertaining.
Yeah, they play it up.
They do. They used to have some on the north side of Edmonton at a hall, and a guy that I played football with. I've talked about him before, Eddie Sheppel.
Okay.
He was Simply Epic Eddie Rude. That was his
Simply
wrestling.
Epic Eddie Rude. That's a good name.
Yeah, and he played it up. Good looking guy, buff, tan. Wore the tight pants. It was beautiful. It was awesome. We'd always go lip him off at the wrestling.
We Kellen Kennedy and I, who's a studio producer at Ched, he's still there. We did Inside Sports and Oilers games together several years, and we used to ham it up on Inside Sports that we were going to start. Well, we actually acted like we had it, but it hadn't started.
Yeah.
The Sylvan Lake Alliance of Wrestling, the SLAW.
Norman Combine always references
Norman
that.
Combine was a big SLAW fan. Yeah.
Wow. Maybe we should make that happen.
We could make it happen.
Sure.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened, I'll tell you that.
They certainly have, and we're going to see some of them in a few minutes, or one of them at least here in a couple of minutes, especially. By the way, again, if you're on YouTube, click the thumbs up. Man, it's like, I don't know if people are tired, if they've been clicking thumbs all week.
Maybe the thumbs are sore like yours.
Maybe their thumbs are sore. Well, my right middle finger is sore from playing the track and field game so much. I actually limited myself to 1 game per day the last 3 days. Still set a couple world records, brah. Apparently the Big Uke says the Oil Kings are minus 500 and favored by 2.5 goals is minus 114. Few people suggesting where there was another rat suggestion I saw. Well, we're going to get to one. Also, Les says he remembers reading Encyclopedia Brown, Castor 1990. Reid, do you remember that Encyclopedia's Brown real name was Leroy Brown? What damaged him to become the baddest man in the whole damn town? All right. Encyclopedia Brown does have a Wikipedia page. I forgot about this wrinkle to the storytelling. Often these books follow a formula where the first chapter involves Brown solving a case at the dinner table for his father, the local police chief in their fictional town. I forgot about that.
Ooh,
yeah.
fun.
So the dad is a police officer. And then, the second mystery often begins in the Brown garage where he set up his own detective agency, right? I remember that. He has a friend named Sally Kimball who often helped. And then as the books progressed or the stories progressed, sometimes he would join his father at a crime scene, but it says rarely more serious than larceny. He wasn't solving any homicides or anything like that. Encyclopedia Brown. Classic, Jay. Classic.
One of the best.
Russ Jericho, he's on fire today. My middle fingers are sore from telling the troll Canucks fans where to go. And then he adds an LOL. Okay, we surged over 100 there. So now let's get up to 130 quickly because we want to get a couple words of the day in later. All right.
What to do?
Yeah, well, we
move on.
We have a segment that requires video, and Coop had to pop. We have plenty to talk about. Sabres tomorrow. Buffalo is in a world of hurt. I feel for them. I think this is going to be 14 years out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Oilers got to 10. I covered, a bulk of that. It tends to wear on a fan base. The thing is, look, the ultimate thing that a team can sell its fan base is victory. If you can't sell victory, you better sell hope, you know? And I remember, well, I mean, what if the Oilers had not won that draft lottery and got McDavid? Do we even want to go there?
No.
I mean, there were, and the thing is, like, I was covering seasons where they were pretty much out of it by November 30th. It's like they would have had to win 20 games in a row to get back into a playoff spot. And as I said, Buffalo is last in the Eastern Conference, so they're having a tough time. Time for buying or selling. For Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years, he and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or the Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. So we've been talking about rats. Let's take a look. Well, you go ahead, Jay.
Well, I came across this last night, and you know, watching SportsCenter after the Oilers game, just trying to get caught up on what else happened. And this is surprising to me that this is not front cover news. I mean, this, I don't know. You guys tell me if I'm wrong, but go ahead and roll it, Koob. This is Brad Marchand takes his glove off and puts his hand around the throat of Nick Cousins. Why was... I know there was no actual choking that happened, but what is going on? What is that? Why is that not all over my Twitter feed today? Oh, you know, like, I don't see many people talking about that. That is just psychotic behavior by Brad Marchand.
You know, it's interesting. The NHL did punish a player today. His name's Oscar Sundqvist. He plays for the St. Louis Blues. He was fined $2,000 for embellishment because it's his second offense of the year. This is the same email that came out about Jeff Skinner a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
And they raised the fine, and then eventually the coach starts
is
getting
in
fined.
on it, yeah.
And this is what is sometimes confusing about the NHL and player safety. And I've gone on the record, and, you know, I try to look at things objectively as possible, but to me, Brad Marchand is not just a rat. He's, I don't even know what word I'm looking for. I struggle to find the word. He's bizarre.
Yeah. The bizarre might be
a few years ago, he was licking guys.
Sure.
And then now he takes his glove off and, you know, instead of getting into a scrum with a guy or pushing him or shoving him, he takes his glove off and puts his bare hand on the other guy's neck. Now, was he actually going to choke him or kill him? No, he wasn't. But to me, if you're going to find something and say, for the love of God, Brad, stop doing this weird stuff, to me, that's the type of thing you would find. And he's a great hockey player. He's a great all-around hockey player. He's part of this incredible era for the Bruins. And when we talk about identity, you know, the Bruins are one of the best teams as exhibiting an identity for 15 to 20 years now. Right? They've won a cup. They've been to 2 other finals. Marchand has helped craft that identity. All this other stuff aside, he's a good hockey player. He gets points. He plays in both ends of the rink. And he is a disturber, right? But then he takes it to this level sometimes where he does things that aren't just outright dirty, that are outright weird. And that's why it's, I didn't see that last night. You showed me this morning. I'm like, seriously? Like he's putting his hand on a guy's neck?
Okay, but that's the thing. Why did you not know about it? You're very in tune with things that are going on in the NHL.
Well, when there's Oilers stuff, so I'm...
Sure, but you'd think somehow through the grapevine this would have come out. Matt Hyman says unhinged. Could that potentially be the word?
Could maybe be a little bit.
I just saw that and I just thought, you just don't do that. You just don't put your hand on another man's neck.
Yeah, like what are you saying?
You know what you're saying. You're saying I'll kill you.
Like,
That's what that says.
I could do it. Like I could do it.
That's what, I mean that. I mean that literally. I'm not joking. That's what that means. I will kill you. I will squeeze the life out of your breath. I'll take the breath away from you. That's what that is. And the fact that he actually took his glove off and did that, this guy's psycho.
Well, It's weird. It's bizarre. And so on Monday, we were talking a lot about McDavid cross-checking Garland in the head and Myers cross-checking Bouchard in the mouth. A player, and again, we're not condoning cross-checks to the head, but if you told a player, okay, you're gonna get into an altercation with the guy tonight, or you're gonna piss another guy off, and he's gonna cross-check you in the helmet or in the mouth, he would probably say, "Well, okay, I might have to eat one."
Something that happens in hockey.
But if you said to a player, "Okay, a guy's going to take his glove off and
cup your neck,
your neck in a choking motion," he would say, "That's unbelievable."
Yeah,
right.
Well done.
Yeah,
I just don't get it. I
don't get it either, and I don't get why he's not punished more than he has been. I know you don't get why he was a pre-named player to Team Canada.
Still don't get it. There's a lot of things about Brad Marchand I do not get.
Yeah, but that's and again, like, he is a good hockey player. Like, objectively, he's a good hockey player. But yeah, what is going on? Maybe he's just a real weirdo. Maybe he thinks it's funny. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I'd like
you'd think that the NHL would talk to him about that.
Yeah,
keep your hands off other people's necks. That's just,
like, if I'm a ref. Okay, so McDavid and Myers were given match penalties for intent to injure. Would not putting your hand on a guy's throat in a choking action, even if you're not squeezing, would not be like if I were a ref, I'd just be like, Brad, get the hell out of the game.
Yeah, you're gone.
Like, what are you doing? Like, that's just
you
stupid.
can't do that.
Like, that's just bizarre. Like, you're making you're disrespectful.
Reid, I want to get to a couple texts here.
Wow.
This one came in from Uncle Danny. Hi, Uncle Danny. I miss you. Corey Perry came to play last night. The question leading up was, will the Oilers get retribution? And I feel Perry played a major role in asserting said retribution. Please, more of that version of Corey Perry.
Well, I mean, it was almost perfect how it happened last night.
Wasn't it?
They were up 5-0. They won 6-2. They got a couple shots in on Garland. Not that he was guilty of holding, but still.
Well, public
you
enemy number one.
You want to play physical on a player like Nurse. I didn't see that close-up replay till today either. Nurse punched him in the head while he was checking him. That probably should have been a penalty. But you got a shot in on their star player with Hughes being thrown to the ice, and then you got Perry kind of embarrassing Bluger by not taking a fight. And the thing with Perry is, like, he didn't turtle. He just kind of just kept skating backwards. I was like, dude, I'm not fighting you. Like, I'm not fighting.
Right. This comes in from Tooney Tuesday. I missed the game last night, but saw the highlights of the Draisaitl pass to Hyman. I think that was the greatest pass of all time.
Not sure that was intended for Hyman. Who was the player cutting through the neutral zone?
Nuge.
It was Nugent Hopkins?
We talked about it earlier. We were just kind of, talking around in the bullpen, and Gager was there and Tom was there. And I said, guys, I got to ask you, because there's a lot of real smart hockey minds here. Was that pass from Draisaitl intended for Hyman? Was it intended to go 117
I don't think it was
feet?
intended to go quite that far. It was still a hell of a backhand pass.
Right.
And I think Draisaitl, he might be the best backhand player in the NHL.
That's a tough, not a tough pass, but that's a borderline tough pass to make.
I know I still steal a lot of stuff from Rob Brown, but he's a wise analyst. Like, he said in the last couple of years that he thinks Draisaitl passes better on his backhand than 3/4 of the players in the league do on their forehand.
What a point. What a strong point.
And also, the goal he scored on, I know this is not what the question was directly about, but the goal he scored on his backhand against the Caps, most players don't shoot that. How many times do you see a player swoop in front on his backhand and he's got room to shoot it? Oh, no, I'm going to peel back the other way. I don't want to shoot on my backhand. He's just like, no, I'm putting this inside the post, baby.
Yeah. And the offside, the inside post from his backhand position, it was a sight to behold. But yeah, I agree with you, Reid. I think that pass was probably intended for Nuge, who was coming up through the neutral zone. It ended up working out, and hey, Hyman finished that play. That was not an easy goal to score. He did finish that play. Yeah, I got a lot of texts I've been compiling here, so we can get to more. There's one here, Reid. I'm just gonna
do it after.
Well, I'll give you a little tease.
Sure,
has to do with Def Leppard.
That's fine by me. Grant says, "How can Marchand do that and not get fined?" Doesn't the NHL fine players for threatening gestures like a finger across the throat or finger? I'm not sure if they fine for that. I know several years when Michel Therrien was coaching the Canadiens, didn't he get kicked out of a game for making a throat slash at another player? I think he might have. Sexy 5 cents, he says the NHL allows choking now. Example, the Bouchard tap out last year. Where was the other one? T-Man, Marchand is a multiple offender, so if McDavid got 3 games, how come Marchand won't get 5 to 7? Choking a guy is beyond me. Yeah, it's just, again, it's just weird.
Well, and he didn't obviously choke.
No, but
Nick Cousins, but the act of doing it is means your head's in a different place. If I came up to, let's say Maddie and I got into a little bit of a real argument. I mean, our office, this is a very...
Right. I know what you mean.
Our office is such a beautiful place to work. But let's say Maddie and I were talking and he said something about my wife and I got mad and I was like, and I put my hand on him. I would be fired. You just do not do that. You can't do that. That is to a man. You do not do that. And here he is doing it in warm up. And a ref's right there. A linesman's right there.
Yeah. Well, not in warm up during a...
That was before the game.
Was that before the game?
Yeah.
That's just weird.
It even makes it more weird. It wasn't even in the heat of battle.
All right. If you're texting us at 780-218-9999, it's the River Cree inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. YYC No Flames for me said, yeah, Andrew Ferentz got fined for flipping off the crowd. Why is a barehanded chokehold more tame?
Reid, how many limericks do you have now?
None.
I've got 2.
So, okay, so we need one more limerick. So I've gotten two limericks total. None since I said I wanted more limericks, but they're texting.
So I've got one in the holster from Mike the Michigan fan and
good.
Library Pat.
All right, and we're going to get to a top 3. We're going to make our NFL picks. Jed Roberts is on today, too. Great show rolling for you, everybody. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Here comes the Coop.
Four games dot the NHL slate with Utah on the road in Winnipeg. The Stars facing the Golden Knights, Flyers battling the Islanders, and the Blackhawks challenging the Lightning. And tomorrow the Oilers match up with the Sabres, having the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show alongside Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas to tee up the action right here on EST. And in New Jersey, Jacob Markstrom is out 4 to 6 weeks after he sprained his MCL Wednesday night, making him doubtful for the Four Nations face-off. Meanwhile, the Oil Kings play the Warriors. Lethbridge hosts Red Deer, while the Blades drop the puck against the Raiders on a 9-game WHL slate. And down south, longtime Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll is signed with the Raiders on a 3-year deal, having a 4th-year option on the contract. In basketball, there's just 3 games with the Cavs soaring down against the 76ers. New Orleans visiting Memphis, and the Trailblazers taking on the Hornets. And tomorrow, the Raptors will be shorthanded as they'll miss Kelly Olynyk, as well as Emmanuel Quickley and Ochai Agbaji. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They sell doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Today, we have a quick intermission before the Reid Wilkins Show returns here on EST. I'm Zachary Kubusch.
Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Make a fresh start in the new year with Sentinel Storage. With convenient locations near you, Sentinel Storage is here to help you make space for everything 2024 holds. Sentinel Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus, shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level. Trackman golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit in-store or at thecanadianicehouse.com for details.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Oh, yeah, we're here. We're just talking amongst ourselves, just planning the show. I mean, we could have done it in the afternoon, but we decided just to do it a couple seconds before we come back on air. Along with Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. It's Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Appreciate you checking out the show today. Continue to give us those thumbs up on YouTube. We're well over 100, creeping towards 130. That's our next plateau to get to a word of the day. You guys have been great all week long. Appreciate you being in the audience and talking with us, Oilers, or wherever else we're going at any given moment. A lot of rat talk today after Corey Perry's performance last night. Now, we have a rat-themed top three, but do you want to get to some text first?
I do, Reid. I do. Okay. Question for you, Reid.
Okay.
This comes in from Chief Wagums.
Chief Wagums.
Question
right.
for you, Reid. Is it safe to say that the Oilers can flip a switch and turn up the physical play? I think what he's alluding to.
Yes, I actually think they can.
Yeah.
I know that's counterintuitive, and I know that that's maybe not considered a good habit, but I do think experienced teams especially can't, like, for example, as I've been saying a lot of the year, McDavid and Draisaitl to me aren't hitting as much as they do in the playoffs or as they have in other years, because I think now they know they pick their spots. And yes, and like we were talking about earlier, Jay, not just flip a switch, but know what is required in each game. You know, like, okay, this game's going this way. We might have to lean a little bit this way with what we have to do to win it. Oh, this game is going this way. All right, we can lean that way and try to do that to win it. So I do think with the physical play, to some extent, this team can flip a switch and crank it up when it's more required. And I know that's not what people want to hear. I know that people saying,
"No, you got not what people want to hear."
Well, I think some people think this team is soft and they have to get out there and bang and crash all the time, and that they don't have the personnel to play tough games. I think they do. Could they use more? Sure, but I think they have the personnel.
Well, here's a question I have for you, Reid, is do you think a part of that was premeditated in Corey Perry's mind, that last night's game was his, let's call it out, Corey Perry-esque coming out party for this season? Do you think?
I think he knows how he has to play to be effective.
So so then you would, it's fair to say that
he took advantage of the opportunities he had to assert himself.
He's felt the need put it that way. To do that kind of performance or have that kind of performance.
I don't think he put anything extra thought into it necessarily. I think he just likes playing that way and knows that's part of his game. Somebody asked him, "Did you play that way in junior?" And he said, "Oh yeah, I did. You could probably find tape of it." And then he joked, and it's probably still tape was what was used. So I just think that's his DNA as a player. I don't know if Corey was sitting there thinking, "Oh, it's the Canucks. I got to be extra ratty tonight." I think he was on the ice in a couple of situations where it paid off. Good for him.
Well, in this one, you've answered this question, but this comes in from Century Steve. The energy and physicality the Oilers played with last night, Where has that been all season?
Well, again, has it been necessarily lacking, or do they just and they weren't up 5-0 just because they were playing physical. They were playing their game.
Sure were, yeah.
Line after line contributing, smart, pretty good defending, not taking stupid chances. So is it a case of where has that been all season, or they just rose to the occasion in some moments that called for a little bit more aggression?
I have now received my third limerick. I got that from Roe in the nasty chat.
Okay, read that one.
Okay.
It's hard without the spacing on the nasty chat, though, isn't it?
There's a show with Reid Wilkins, you see, and Jay Milne. They chat with such glee. On Edmonton Sports, they're the talk from...
From the Oilers to the walks in the park, it's the best sports talk that can be. Pretty good rhyming. Again, probably lines 3 and 4 need to be a little shorter. But I'm glad to get limericks. That was still pretty good. Oh, I just got one emailed as well. So we'll spice these in.
I got a couple.
We'll
one more.
We'll season the show with some limericks.
I'll season one more limerick in here before we get to Reid's top 3, which is
your top 3 today, baby.
My top 3, and I appreciate the opportunity. This comes in from Mike, the Michigan fan. Darren McCarty with fists set to fly caught Lemieux with a look in his eye. The gloves hit the ice, and the crowd thought it's nice as Claude's face met the punch. Oh my!
That's pretty good.
Well done.
These
Mike,
are good.
the Michigan fan.
All right, yeah, I'll get to. I got to flag these in my email to make sure I don't miss them out or miss them. So it's a rat-themed show. And it's time for our top 3. It's Jay's Today, presented by Fuge Sausages. The best sausages you will ever eat, locally made and packed full of flavor. Order online or visit them in store, 6736 99th Street. Take advantage of their EST discount. 10% off your order by entering the online code EST, or just mention Edmonton Sports Talk in the store. As Fuge Sausage says, you can't beat our meat. It is Jay Milne's top 3. Fun facts about rats.
You know it. And you know what, Reid? You've taught me so much in our, 95 episodes or however many it is. One of the first things you taught me was, you said, Jay, if you think it's interesting or if you think it's something that should be said, just say it. Trust yourself.
Yeah, yes, I do say that.
Right? So I've often wondered, we all know Alberta as rat-free. But how did it get to this point? Well, it was crazy. Do you know where rats where they first came from?
Where rats first came from. The origin of the species, in other words. Where did rats first come from?
The rats that came to Canada, where were they from?
England.
Norway. Oh, if you could believe that. They were introduced to the east coast of Canada around 1775 and began a migration west.
Really?
Yes, and it began causing turmoil in the prairies, notably Saskatchewan was causing economic turmoil due to the infestation of rats and how much it was damaging crops, which led to damage to the economy. So Alberta, in fear of the rats' ability to spread plague and economic destruction, the Minister of Agriculture, and this, I had the date. This was in the late 1940s.
Okay.
Introduced the Agriculture Pests Act. And Alberta has maintained an RCZ, or a rat control zone.
It's been around that long, eh?
Yes. Along the eastern border of Alberta, ranging as far north as Cold Lake, all the way down to the Montana border.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is how. You got to keep them from coming in from Saskatchewan. Who would have thought?
That's the problem.
Because they can't come through the mountains, apparently.
Well, no, rats can't climb mountains.
I bet they could. I think they might just be a little too nippy up there. Maybe the little rats would freeze.
So rats originally came to Canada from Norway.
Aye, Captain. Now, fun facts about rats. It is illegal to own and or sell rats in the province of Alberta.
Well, I would hope so.
Unless they're for the use of scientific purposes, educational purposes.
Right. Like if a rat was your teacher. This rat has his PhD. He's teaching philosophy at the U of A.
Rats were amongst the first space travelers. Did you know that? In 1960, the Soviet satellite Korabal Sputnik 2 orbited Earth, carrying many animals, rats amongst them.
I didn't know that.
They orbited the Earth for 1 day and came back, and all the animals were safe and sound.
What year was that?
1960.
Was that? Didn't the Russians put a dog in space?
Part of with rats, yes.
Oh, with the rats.
They sent several animals up there. Can you imagine if you were one of those animals? You're like, what? Why aren't we going? Where are we going on our walk today? What are you doing to me?
You're going into space.
10, 9. I don't want to be here.
Imagine if the aliens found him. Oh, that's what lives on this planet.
And they would really underestimate our species at that point. A rat has been awarded a medal for bravery. A real medal.
Really?
Yeah. Magawa. That's the name of the rat. Magawa is a Tanzanian rat. Won the award because it can find explosive based on their extremely heightened scent of smell. So they use rats, this Magawa rat, to detect explosives.
There's bomb detecting rats in this world.
Can you believe it?
I wouldn't have believed that if you would have asked me if that was true.
Maybe we could have done this as buying or selling.
We could have done it as buying or selling. Yeah. So do you have any more rat facts?
Those
are
had
the main
several.
ones?
Rats
Okay.
actually are very good communicators. Rats can giggle. They laugh.
Well, I read that today too. Rats laugh.
If you
You
tickle their belly,
ticklish.
they make like a little squeal.
I mean, you also get several diseases from touching them. But damn it, you made that rat laugh. How did you get the Black Plague? I tickled a rat. It was so cute. Put the rat down, Jablonski.
Well, like we learned earlier,
But he's
rats
my
can
pet.
swim. They're nocturnal. I think everybody knew that. Picky eaters. Yeah. And rats with their eyes on the sides of their head are extremely good at spotting predators.
Have you seen Templeton? You say picky eater?
What's Templeton?
He's from Charlotte's Web.
Smorgasbord.
Clearly, I have not.
Oh, he's a rat who eats everything. He gets big, old, and fat, and he probably giggles a bunch too.
Now, oddly enough, the movie Ratatouille,
right,
that was an underwhelmingly small rat. If we're talking rats, that rat went undetected in restaurants, whereas from what I've understood about rats throughout the show is they can be quite large.
Maybe because he was French?
Do you think the French rats are on a bit of a diet?
Maybe.
Maybe they don't load up on as many carbs?
That was a great movie. I think that's one of Pixar's best. No, I haven't seen all of them, obviously. I've never seen Frozen.
What?
I've never seen Frozen.
So on the Hangout this morning, Chris D,
the winner of the
confused
trip,
with Chris G. Chris D was in studio, the fella that won and took his wife to the trip to L.A.
Right.
Said he saw the actor who played Olaf.
Oh, I heard that part. Yes, that was great. Josh Gad.
Then how did you know that was Olaf? You know, could you imagine if he just wears a scarf everywhere he goes and button coal buttons and a carrot nose to just make sure everybody knows he's Olaf?
Yeah, I'm Olaf. That's pretty cool. Well, thank you for the top 3 fun facts about rats, J. Milne.
My
that
pleasure.
was highly educational. Somebody in the nasty chat, Scotty Knows, says, did Jay study for this by watching the Ratatouille special features?
Didn't know there were.
Pretty good. Rats Zuccarello is from Norway. LOLOL from Russ Jericho. That's pretty good. Appreciate that. Nathan, or the Big Uke, says, watching Perry ratted up in an Oilers jersey instead of against us makes my day.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Did you hear the other morning they slowed down the Makes My Day
No.
to about half speed? It sounded alarmingly creepy.
Have you ever, on a record player, you can change the speed of the record?
Yeah.
Because what are the two speeds? There's 38,
33 and a third, 45 and 78, right?
Okay, so the big records, the records that we would know.
33 and a third.
Right. If you slow that down, have you ever heard, the hit song by Dolly Parton, Jolene?
Yeah.
Have you ever slowed it down?
No.
It is fantastic.
Oh, really?
Coop, we're going to have to find a way to just... It's actually a real banger. Everybody, bookmark it. Think about this later. YouTube Dolly Parton's Jolene slowed down or played at, I think, 40... Would it be 45?
Probably from 45 down to 33.
Yeah.
If it's a single. Yeah, I think that's what it would be.
Incredible.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Awesome stuff. Keep your texts coming to the River Cree inbox. 780-218-9999. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Oh, I got another limerick. I got 3 limericks. This is awesome, everybody. I just love how people rally. You folks are incredible. We're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. Here comes the Coob.
A light NHL slate has Tampa Bay out in Chicago, Dallas hosting Vegas, and the Flyers taking on the Islanders while the Jets meet the Hockey Club. Out east, the Devils will miss Jacob Markstrom for up to 6 weeks after he sustained an MCL sprain Wednesday night. This injury makes Markstrom questionable for the upcoming Four Nations face-off. And for the Leafs, Matthew Nyes has been listed as day-to-day with an upper body injury. Back in Edmonton, the Oil Kings hit the ice against the Warriors. The Cougars face off with the Wheat Kings, and Kelowna plays Kamloops. And the Golden Bears men's hockey team is out in Saskatchewan to butt heads with the Huskies tonight and tomorrow. In NFL news, the Raiders have signed longtime Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll to a 3-year deal with a 4th-year option available. And on the court, Cleveland takes on Philly. The Pelicans tip off against the Grizzlies, and the Trailblazers go at it with the Hornets, just having 3 games in the NBA tonight. And for the Raptors tomorrow, Kelly Olynyk is out with a calf injury he sustained yesterday, while Emmanuel Quickley and Ochai Abachi will miss the game as well. And for the Toronto Blue Jays, they've announced that they've signed 22 international free agents, including 17-year-old Christopher Polanco from the Dominican Republic. The Reid Wilkins Show continues on the other side of the break here on EST. I'm Zachary Kubusch.
If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
All right. Thanks a lot for checking out the show this afternoon. Hope you were having a wonderful Friday. Hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead. Oil Kings play tonight at 7, Sunday at 6 at Rogers Place. The Oilers play tomorrow at 2 against Buffalo. We'll have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 1.
Incredible. This comes in from Les Nessman's landlord. Hey guys, Vic Snyder, my biological sciences prof at NATE, said a rat will kill itself before it goes above a certain elevation above sea level. That is why rats don't enter Alberta through BC.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's fascinating. All right. That's good. I'll better get to a limerick here. Oh, sorry. You got something else?
Dudley says, just listen to the slowdown version of Jolene. We're working on getting it so you guys can all take it in this joy. And Jay is absolutely right. Complete banger.
Oh, wow. Do a limerick here first, Coop. I'm going to give you, I got too many tabs open. This is the one from Bronco Nick. There once was a man from Cologne who could easily backhand a stone. Makes it look easy that we all feel queasy. Hopefully the NHL gives him a bone. Pretty good from
Not
Bronco
bad.
Nick. All right, so what do we have? We have the slowed down version of Dolly Parton's Jolene.
Do it.
Jolene, 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 Jolene.
Isn't this groovy?
I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
At the beginning, it almost sounded
Jolene,
a bit like, was it Thank You by Dido? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
It reminded me a little bit of that at the beginning.
Want
Yeah,
to
it's still a
thank
song.
you.
Can we slow down, pour some sugar? Are you able to slow down anything?
No, it's an actual.
Oh, that's
like,
an actual
it's
thing. The
actually
actual
on
remake.
YouTube.
Somebody must have slowed down, pour some sugar on me. Just to the chorus, not right from the beginning. I'm just curious now.
But wasn't that surprisingly better than you thought?
That was, yeah. I wasn't sure what to expect. I trusted you that it was interesting,
Reid,
but I still wasn't sure what to expect.
Sorry, speaking of Def Leppard, I got to get to this question now.
Oh yeah, we got the text coming in.
This comes in from Terry Towell. Reid, I would like you to rank your top 3 Def Leppard songs and why.
Okay, well, look, Pour Some Sugar on Me is number 1. I know that's cliche, but I just think it's a fun song.
What's it about?
It's about the process of making love.
Really?
Well, pour some sugar on me. Give me some sugar. Give me some lovin'. Give me some coochie coo. You know, it's about enjoying a sensual encounter with a partner.
I still don't get it. Can you explain further?
Okay, Homer. When I tap your foot and say, "Hello, Mr. Thompson," you reply, "Hello." "Hello, Mr. Thompson." I think he's talking to you. Okay.
See, I told you this would get off the rails at some point. We are there.
So I just think that is an iconic hook. The chorus, "Pour Some Sugar on Me," just sticks in your brain. And so that would be number 1. Man, oh man, my top 3 Def Leppard songs. This might change. You could probably ask me next week, and it might change. This song is also off Hysteria. It was also a single, though a later in the run single. I think the album had been almost a couple years when they put it out, and that's Rocket. And again, powerful chorus, hooky chorus, but a song that they played with a lot, a lot of sort of remixing and the interesting drum beat off the top and the sort of that extended solo with all the samples from other parts of their album. Like at the beginning of the song Rocket, where it's like that's where Fighting for the Gods of War played backwards. Like they're not actually saying anything. And then my third favorite Def Leppard song, oh man, like this is tough.
Now, is there any sentimental value to Rocket?
Well, I do have a dog named Rocket,
right?
Named after the song. And I had a dog named Animal named after the song.
I thought Animal might make it. Based off the way you reacted when you played it in the bullpen the other day, I've never seen you like that.
I love Animal.
It's like the rage came out from inside of you.
I don't want to pick 3 songs off Hysteria, so I'm going to say Foolin' as number 3, track 6 off Pyromania, or the first song on side 2 if you had the album or the tape. That's just, to me, that's a signature song of theirs too, because it's also how they build. I mean, their songs are so well constructed, and there's 4 separate sections to that song. It starts slow, it increases the tempo, and then they get to that foolin' chorus. So I think that's a really good song as well. So my top 3 will be Pour Some Sugar on Me, Rocket, and Foolin'.
Okay. Dudley says there is a slowed down version of Pour Some Sugar on Me on YouTube.
Find it.
Would that now be like an R&B song?
Well, I'll fall down YouTube rabbit holes, and I found other versions like gospel people singing Pour Some Sugar on Me, dance remixes. Who was it? There was somebody that did a really slowed down piano version of Pour Some Sugar on Me. It's fun, man. At least I think it's fun. I may be the only one.
No. Some people are saying 2 steps behind.
Because they know I don't like that. Those are people from Inside Sports that are trolling me. And I don't hate 2 Steps Behind, but I don't think it should be as well regarded as it is. I'm not a huge 2 Steps Behind fan.
Mex Bezzozu says it's a terrific stalker song. Jode says Hysteria.
Yeah,
Photograph.
Great song.
And Long, Long Way to Go.
Oh, I love Long, Long Way to Go. Yeah, that's off X. That's kind of... It's a very uneven album. I think there's 13 tracks. Probably half of them are good, and the other half of them aren't very good. It has a song on it called 4-Letter Word, which is a very fun rocker. Has a song called You're So Beautiful on it, which is an up-tempo song that's kind of a fun, I got a crush on you type of song. But Long, Long Way to Go is very good. Anything else? But do another limerick.
Love Bites?
Yeah, Love Bites would probably be in the top 5. That's a brilliant song. That really is a brilliant song.
Yeah, I got another limerick here from Library Pat. The Oilers played one of their best. Hyman was regularly dressed. Leon threw a deft pass. Vinny sat on his ass. Perry at his absolute best.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. If you're watching on YouTube, by the way, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. We got to get to at least 130 so Jay can give me a word of the day. Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. NHL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse every Oilers game day, like tomorrow. Get $1 off tankers of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. You can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. My buddy Zip, top 3 Leopard songs. Pour Some Sugar on Me, Photograph, and Rock of Ages. Can't go wrong with those ones either. So what's going on Sunday, buddy? What are you going to be doing? Going to watch any sports, maybe?
I don't know. Probably just sleep in, and I might actually go to Bed Bath & Beyond.
Why would you pick that place?
Here, they got some good sales on.
That's some good sales.
Aren't they out of business?
I don't know. They went into the great beyond.
Yeah.
Bed Bath and into the great beyond. So
we got football.
We got football on Sunday. So we've been making our picks as part of Fired Up for Gemco. Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years. The authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. So to update, last week in the 4 games, I went 2-2. I was wrong on Detroit and the Rams winning. Jay went 3-1. He was wrong on Detroit winning.
Shame on
and
me.
you were very close. Which score did you have that was
Bills.
close?
I had them winning 27-24.
And they won 27-25.
Yeah.
So you're just a point off on that one. So in terms of wins and losses, I'm 7-3 and Jay is 6-4. So we're going to make our guaranteed to be correct predictions with scores for this weekend. Okay, here's how we'll do it. We'll do your AFC pick, then I'll do my AFC and NFC, and then you'll do your NFC at the end, since that's your favorite team. So you start with the AFC.
Bills at Chiefs. I see this being the same as as last week. I see this being a shootout. For whatever reason, I don't think you're going to see a perfect game from the Chiefs. And that will give the Bills the opportunity to finally get over the hump, get to the Super Bowl. I like Josh Allen. I like that offense. I'm going to take the Bills 28-24. Buffalo 28, Chiefs 24.
Well, I can't go against my preseason pick of Kansas City winning the Super Bowl. I hate that when somebody says, "Oh, see, I was right," whereas really they covered all their bases by picking the team they picked earlier to then lose. So I'm going to stick with the Chiefs. I think that despite the quarterbacks we talk about in this game, both teams have really good defenses. I think the Bills create more turnovers. I think the Chiefs can get more sacks. I think the Chiefs' D-line will ultimately win them this game and be able to control Allen at least a little bit. And I'm going to take a bit of a weird score just for fun, and I'm going low scoring. I'm going Kansas City 16, Buffalo 15.
Wow.
I'm going 16-15.
A real defensive battle.
Maybe it'll be a scoregami. Who knows?
That would be incredible.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
I've been checking the scoregamis just to see. Because, in the Rams game, there was a safety. Philly took a safety.
Right.
And usually that puts you on scoregami watch.
Yes. Yeah, if something strange happens or extra points get missed or something like that. Buffalo. You know what? If the Ravens had just kicked the extra point when it was, 14-12, I think, they would have been down 14. They could have just kicked to tie it at the end of the game or to win it at the end of the game, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, Washington at Philadelphia. Philadelphia looked very good against the Rams. They have a very good team. Hurts is
hurt.
A good quarterback. Is he not playing?
He is.
Okay.
His knee's mangled.
Yeah. They have Barkley, who's had an epic season as a running back. The Washington Commanders are an exciting team. Did anybody pick them even to make the playoffs before the year? And that's the beauty of the NFL.
They were on the bubble.
They were kind of a bubble team.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, you love him. He's had an incredible season. I think they have figured something out. They have some magic. I am picking the Washington Commanders to beat Philadelphia 31-23. And I'm not just doing this because I work with Jay Milne, who cheers for the Commanders. I think they're going to do it. Washington 31, Philadelphia 23.
Reid, I'm ashamed of myself for not believing in this team last week against what was the juggernaut in the Detroit Lions. But the Commanders showed me something there. They show me they don't care. They don't care who they're playing. They don't care where they're playing. Their defense balled out. Mikey Sainristil, as Mike the Michigan fan, former Michigan player, had 2 interceptions last week. He's a rookie. Jaden Daniels protected the ball last week. I don't know if you've heard, but he's a rookie. The only thing that scares me about this game is Saquon Barkley.
Right.
Jalen Hurts has been underwhelming all year. Tack onto that he's battling some sort of a knee injury, so I don't think he's going to be as elusive as one may think. Dan Quinn, being a defensive mind head coach for the Commanders, might want to pressure that offensive line more to get Jalen Hurts to have to move in the pocket. I don't know. I as soon as they beat the Lions last week, I said, my gosh, I think this team's going to go to the Super Bowl. So I am on the Commanders.
Wow.
I am on the Commanders, 34-31.
Amazing. We both took them. Okay. So we will either be tied going into the Super Bowl or I will have a 2-game lead because we disagreed on Kansas City and Buffalo. Amazing.
Did we put coffees on this? I don't recall.
No, we're just doing it for fun.
Okay.
I mean, we can do something, but...
Well, yeah, you would say that. You're in the lead.
Fair enough.
Wow.
All right. Good stuff. It's our guaranteed to be correct NFL predictions. I was part of Fired Up for Gemco. We got Jed Roberts coming up. We're going to get to more of your limericks as well, and keep hitting the thumbs up on YouTube as we are all be that 130th thumb and get us into the word of the day category. It's 5 o'clock. Quick timeout.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems. But did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of Injury Law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
In the NHL, Philly is on the road in Long Island. The hockey club battle the Jets. Chicago hosts Tampa Bay, and the Stars face off with the Golden Knights. Meanwhile, the Oilers are back in action tomorrow against the Sabres with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 1 o'clock, only on EST. And for the Devils, Jacob Markstrom is out 4 to 6 weeks after he sustained an MCL sprain after Justin Brazeau of the Bruins crashed into his net on Wednesday. And in Edmonton tonight, the Oil Kings face the Warriors. Medicine Hat takes on Spokane while the Americans play the Winterhawks. And the Golden Bears are also in action. The men's hockey team taking on the Huskies on a back-to-back. In the NFL, Pete Carroll has been hired as the next head coach of the Raiders, while Adam Schefter is reporting that, quote, the Bears are working to finalize a deal to make former Lions wide receiver coach Antoine Randall L. their new assistant head coach. And there's just 3 games in the association, having New Orleans challenging Memphis, Cavs, and 76ers tipping off, while the Trailblazers and Hornets throw it down. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The final hour, the Reid Wilkins Show, starts right now.
All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. You can email your limericks to read at edmontonsportstalk.com. Matt Hyman writing this. Pineapple on pizza I often binge. Department of Player Safety makes me cringe. Rodents on a boat, hands on his throat. The rat Brand Marchand is clearly unhinged. That is good work by Matt Hyman.
Very good. Wow. I like that.
I'll do another one here because the Big Uke sent his in before the show even started, so he's probably waiting to hear it. Last night, Perry absolutely ratted it up. Controversy of the year, the Chris's? Yup. Commanders v. Bills. Would have thrills. What's the cutest type of animal pup? You know, I like when that last line is supposed to be just pure nonsense, right? That's good stuff.
This one came in on the text line from Seal. Our good friend Seal has chimed in.
Arf.
Sorry, Seal. I don't mean to disrespect you. Dear Reid, from one Def Leppard fan to another, please explain Untergleben, Glauten, Gluben.
So that was a funny thing that they would do instead of counting into a song 1, 2, 3, 4. They and Mutt Lang would just find other silly ways to get the song going. And at some point they did Gunthen, Gleeten, Glauten, Globen, or whatever it is to start Rock of Ages.
So what language is that?
That is a made-up language.
Oh.
It's just nonsense. Like, it sounds German, I guess, but it's not anything. It's just them doing silly things.
It's germanium.
Correct.
So that explains that. What did Coop say something funny?
He says it's germanium,
which is an element on the periodic table.
Oh, is it? Oh, cool. What's its symbol?
GU? GE?
You better be right. You better be right.
I don't know.
Well, okay.
No.
Like if you're bringing in periodic table stuff, you better be right.
Grade 9 science.
If you're texting us at 780-218-9999, you're using the River Cree inbox, River Cree Resort and Casino. Comedian Ben Bankus coming to the River Cree this month. For details on tickets, visit rivercreeresort.com. All right, this gentleman joins us every week here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Double E alum, an all-around good guy and sports fan, Jed Roberts, checking in on the phone today. Jed, it's Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yourself? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, buddy. Thanks for hopping on. We'll get right to it here. The theme of this show has been rats. We saw what Corey Perry did last night. We know the value of that in hockey. How can you be a rat in football where it's a little harder to fight or scrum it up? What does being a rat in football entail to you?
Well, I mean, everybody likes to talk about how when there's a big scrum or a pile, there's stuff that goes underneath the bottom of the pile there that I can't even convey to the audience because it's a family-friendly program, right? So people scratching, clawing, squeezing, you know, it gets pretty ugly down there. So that would be one thing that first comes to mind. I also think there's a whole bunch of trash talk that goes on, and some people take it better than others, and sometimes you figure out that you can get underneath someone's skin, so you'll say things under your breath as you run by them, or, you know, there's a lot of that going on in football. It's actually one of the things I miss the most about playing.
Okay, nice. All right. Well, yeah, I've heard about that bottom of the pile stuff. Maybe you can tell me off air exactly some of the things or areas, though I guess I can guess what might get squeezed a little bit. You know, the Oilers lost 2 in a row, but you know, they haven't lost 3 in a row in regulation now since the beginning of the year. And when Knobloch was asked about it, just sort of that steadiness of emotion. Do you see that from this team? And what's the value of a team that can sort of handle any sort of situation in a game?
You know, it's funny that you led this off with mentioning Corey Perry, because I think that you saw last night exactly why they brought him in, you know. And I remember, because I've been an Oilers fan for a while, and I remember whenever we would play against him, and he just used to make me so angry because he would just get away with stuff. And I'm like, gosh, you know, don't the refs see what he's doing? And I finally understood what it feels like to have a Corey Perry on your side. And you just got to shake your head at the incredible way that he his IQ, he's like way above everybody else out there on the ice. I mean, you can see the way he's, sort of massaging the rules there. And, he'd go to the guy into a fight. He wouldn't drop his gloves. And, if you're a fan of the opposing team, you just want that guy to just get somebody to just give him as a comeuppance, but all that ended up happening was the Canucks ended up getting 2 or 3 penalties. And that was basically the game. And, when you have a veteran like Corey Perry in your lineup that understands how to manipulate momentum and to, steady the crew, as it were, in the room. I've watched him up close. He's always the last one to come out of the dressing room. He's a calm, steady presence in there. And I think when you've got a veteran team like the Oilers, that's what veteran teams do. They don't get too caught up in the emotion. They understand that it's there's 3 periods. There's 2 intermissions. There's lots of time to keep things steady. I mean, you've seen this team go down by 3 goals and then come back to win. So this is a fun group to watch, and I think that's certainly a big role.
Jay here. Let's get into this. Let's get into this football weekend, football Sunday, championship Sunday. We're going to start in the AFC with the Bills at Chiefs. I'm on the Bills. Reid's on the Chiefs. Where does Jed Roberts come out on this one, and why?
Yeah. I hope I'm not jinxing Buffalo, because I've watched the 4 Falls of Buffalo and lost 3 in a row. This will make it 4 if they lose again. So, but I really like Buffalo this year, and I just feel like the Chiefs, they've only they seem to be playing to the level of their opposition, and I don't know, man. I don't know if they can keep getting away with that. And so I don't know. I like the Chiefs. I think I'm going to go with the Bills on this one, though. I think the Bills are due. I think Josh Allen is he's trying to become a superstar, and you can't quite get that level if you don't have a Super Bowl under your belt. So I think he wants to get in there and make his claim, make his case for being one of the all-time greats. So I think we're going to see the Bills win it this weekend.
I really think that this game is going to also come down to turnovers and the importance of keeping and protecting the ball. So that'll be interesting to watch. I just have a feeling that the Chiefs are going to be turning it over more than the Bills, which will lead to the Bills winning. The Commanders are are heading into rival territory. This is an NFC East battle for the conference. What do you see, Jed? Who do you like?
I just don't. In a rivalry game like this, I think the home team benefits, and I think the Eagles are probably going to take this one. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of magic going on around that Commanders team. I just don't know if they have another week left. But Jaden Daniels, you got to figure out a way to take him out of the game. He's a guy that can beat you all kinds of different ways, and he doesn't play like a rookie. He plays like he's been in the league for 10 years. He makes good decisions. He doesn't beat himself, and he doesn't turn the ball over. So it's a tough. I think the home team's going to win this one. I think the Eagles are. It's going to be a very difficult environment for the Commanders to go in and take it. But I think the Eagles are going to do it.
Jed Roberts, Double E alum, joining us this afternoon on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, talking some hockey, talking some NFL as we get you ready for the conference championship game. What do you like? The Philadelphia fans have a reputation, right? When you were in the CFL, whose fan, and you played in the era, there still are some, but I think the old Hamilton, like the visiting bench, like you guys seemed like you were almost in the stands. Which stadium had the fans that were most likely try to antagonize the visiting bench?
Hamilton, and it's not even close. I mean, when you and Ivor win, they had dugouts like baseball, and they used to. I mean, when we would be coming off, the veterans would tell us when we were young, don't take your helmets off in that stadium, because the fans would throw batteries at you, and they would throw beer cans full of urine at you, and cups full of urine. It was a horrible environment. I mean, those steelworkers didn't mess around. They weren't there to make any friends, So you really went in there, you kept your chin strap buckled up, and you just tried to get through it and then go home. You always ended up smelling like urine at the end of it.
My God. They threw pee at you.
And you know what? When a battery hits your helmet, Reid, it's like it rings for days. Like your ears ring for days. It's horrible.
Wow, that is especially nasty. Okay. Jed, I hope you have a great weekend ahead. I know we kind of got you in the middle of stuff today, but we love when you come in too. We just love having you on the show. Thanks for your perspective on rats, on grabbing body parts at the bottom of piles, and your picks for this weekend, buddy. We'll see you soon, okay?
Hey, take care, guys. Happy Friday.
Right on. Jed Roberts, Double E alum, joining us as he does every week here on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. All right, so I'm just trying to think of this mentality of being a sports fan. So you're like, well, I'm going to the game. Oh, my seats are right by the visitor's bench. What should I do? I'm going to urinate in this cup and take it into the stadium. Well, maybe I guess they wouldn't have to bring the urine in. You could drink some beers in the first half. At halftime, go pee into the beer cup, and then you got it loaded. I guess they wouldn't pre-urinate. They'd urinate during the game. I don't know how. I've never done that.
I think some of the best to do it are pre-urinators, Reid. I don't know if they do it live there. They usually bring in their own ammunition.
But how would they get it in comfortably?
Camelback?
No.
Hey, honey, I'm going to go out to the Ticats game with Ben and Chris. Can we change some of the batteries in the remotes? Might need some of those. Can you imagine taking a battery off the side of the head?
Well, yeah, I guess that would hurt too.
Well, and he is right. The sound of it. You know, like you see in football movies, like, what was that one? John Voight was the coach, Friday Night Lights, where he's smacking the kid in the helmet with his keys.
Was that John Voight?
Yeah.
In the movie?
Coach Bud Kilmer.
Oh, but in the TV show, it was somebody else.
It wasn't him in TV
It was
series.
that other guy.
The other guy that was on that great show that was on Netflix, based down in the Florida Keys. That guy. Anyways, when a coach is slamming and smashing keys into your helmet, it is very loud. It hurts your ears. I used to have a coach that would grab me by the face mask.
Oh, and they would just shake you around?
Oh, I wanted to do bad things to that guy. I want to put my hand and cup his neck.
Do the Marchand.
Do the Marchand. There you go.
I've seen the movie Friday Night Lights. I don't remember. I'm not doubting you. I just don't remember John Voight being in that movie. Friday Night Lights. And I think I read the book as well. Yeah, I definitely read the book. So who was all in? No, Billy Bob Thornton was the coach. Billy Bob Thornton is coach.
What
Gary
movie
Gaines.
am I? No, I'm not thinking Friday Night Lights.
Who was
then.
John Voight the football coach in?
Oh.
That's Angelina Jolie's dad, by the way.
It is.
John Voight was a football coach. Where is his... Wow, he's got a lot of Wikipedia stuff.
The guy from Dawson Creek, the actor, was the quarterback.
Oh, Varsity Blues?
Varsity
he was in
Blues.
Varsity Blues.
My apologies.
Coach Bud Kilmer.
Yeah, my apologies.
Right. The Vanderbeek was the actor. James Vanderbeek was in that. John Voight was the coach. Paul Walker was in that. Of course, he passed away. Amy Smart. Scott Conn. James Conn's son.
James Conn's son.
James Conn's son. Yes, that's hard to
Things
say.
change, Mox.
Allie Larder. I believe she was the whipped cream bikini.
Couldn't tell you.
Performer.
Don't remember it. Things change, Mox.
And she went on to be in Heroes, wasn't she? That in that TV show Heroes.
John Moxon.
Was that the? How do you remember that?
I love.
Well,
that
I guess
movie.
I remember a lot of random stuff about movies. So I just remember things that other people don't remember.
And Billy Bob.
And then I feel so alone.
Would feed his pig maple syrup.
In Varsity Blues?
Yeah, Billy Bob.
Who played Billy Bob? Ron Lester played Billy Bob. Oh, he is no longer with us.
Nope. Scott Conn was Tweeter. That was his character's name. He was a little bit of a hellion.
Charlie Tweeter, a wild, cocky, and hard-partying wide receiver.
Like they
That's
all
what
are.
It says on Wikipedia. Those wide receivers. Who are the most likely guys to party on a football team? Does it go by position?
Oh yeah. Starts with the D-line.
Oh, really? They're the animals, eh?
They're usually the ones that are getting into it.
So they got to be hungry to get after that quarterback.
Defensive backs are ready to go at any time.
Okay.
They're ready to rumble. Usually the receivers are more of a quiet group. They might go for sushi, say, instead of to the bar for a pint and some wings.
Are they the most fitness-oriented guys?
No, they're just offensive weirdos.
They're just see. There's such this divide between offense and defense.
No, great people.
Great people, just weird.
Just
That's
different.
all. I just don't want to spend time with them. That's all.
Rip City Step. I don't want your life.
See, I saw Varsity Blues. That's not a movie. It wasn't that good, was it?
It was awesome.
It's not an awesome movie.
I mean, Hot for Teacher. What's that song by?
Hot for Teacher is a Van Halen song.
I know, but it's played during the special scene in that movie because their teacher has a side job.
Oh, as a stage
as a
performer?
professional, yeah. And
I don't remember any of this.
some of the scenes in that are just great. The heroes played by.
Do they win in the end?
Do they win in the end? I think they do.
And was the coach a jerk?
Terrible. They ran him out of town.
Oh, wow.
And then Paul Walker came back on the sideline and he took over as coach. They ran him out at halftime because he would steroid up he'd shoot up his players, and he had a thing against African American players. So he'd use them to get the ball down the field, then give it to somebody else to score the touchdown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a neat. There's a lot of layers to this movie.
All right, interesting stuff. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree inbox. If you want to text us, send us a limerick. Did we reach word of the day territory? We gotta. We're one away. Somebody give us one thumb, or text a friend or somebody to give us a thumb. We got to get that thumb so we can get in a word of the day. We're also going to tell you about something cool happening on Sunday involving female hockey in Edmonton. We got our game of the night when we get back. It's the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne.
Four games dot the NHL slate with Utah on the road in Winnipeg. The Stars facing the Golden Knights, Flyers battling the Islanders, and the Blackhawks challenging the Lightning. Tomorrow, it's Oilers Sabres with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live to preview the action during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show right here on EST. You can tune in at 1 o'clock for that. Meanwhile, the Oil Kings play the Warriors. Lethbridge hosts Red Deer, while the Blades drop the puck against the Raiders on a 9-game WHL slate. And down south, longtime Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll has signed with the Raiders on a 3-year deal, having a 4th-year option on the contract, while ESPN's Adam Schefter is reporting that, quote, the Bears are working to finalize a deal to make former Lions wide receiver coach Antoine Randall L. their new assistant head coach. And 2 games are underway in the NBA with the Blazers up 12-10 on the Hornets and the 76ers trailing the Cavs by 1, seeing both games early in the first quarter. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Find them online at AdvantageSportMed.ca. After a quick timeout, the Reid Wilkins Show returns. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Make a fresh start in the new year with Sentinel Storage. With convenient locations near you, Sentinel Storage is here to help you make space for everything 2024 holds. Sentinel Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Hockey lives at the Canadian Brew House. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. Plus, you can win game tickets and a surf and turf dinner for two at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. Wing Wednesdays unbeatable at the CBH, only 69 cents each. Mountains of flavors to savor. Flavor of the month in January, passion fruit habanero. Do that wing thing every Wednesday at the Canadian Brewhouse. Along with Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Thanks for checking out the show. Let's make a rally for 150 thumbs now that we have surpassed 130. If we get to 150, it's a double word of the day. So a bit of a very fun show, somewhat meandering at times. We had a bit of a rat-themed show earlier. We'll still do, but lots of rat stuff earlier. And Jace, I don't even know how it came up. Jay brought up the Dolly Parton song, Jolene, that if you slow it down, it still sounds very good, maybe even better. So we said to Koob, can we find a slowed down version of Pour Some Sugar on Me by Def Leppard? What do we have? Not great. This is from the beginning. Yeah, this is from the beginning. Do you have the chorus? We don't have the chorus. Okay. All right, that is not good. That is not good at all.
Jolene performed better.
Yeah, Jolene's way better than a slowed down Pour Some Sugar. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? They can't all be gold. Why are we clapping?
We cruised through 130. As you said.
I
didn't give the clap yet, you know?
All right.
It's not official.
By the way, it's Friday night. What do you think Tom Gazzola's doing?
Dungeons and Dragons.
He's probably just polishing the dice and going through his manual. He's going through his Dungeon Master guide.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, does this orc take damage on a 12 on a D20 or a 13? He's just double checking that because somebody has to be the orc, right?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Just say it. All right. Fun show. Thanks for checking it out. Oilers tomorrow at 2. Speaking of Tom, he's going to be busy tomorrow. He's going to be Mr. Edmonton Sports Talk tomorrow. He has
Hello
Hockey. It's like I blanked on the name of the show. Hey, I'm new here.
That's okay.
Hello Hockey from 10 to noon with Sean Bell. And I believe they're at what?
Are you making a cameo on that show?
I might go for brunch.
I heard a rumor.
Yeah, I might go for brunch because I live
at local
in my neighbor. They're
Oliver
local
Square.
on Jasper Ave. The one on Jasper Ave.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah,
but that's
So I could trundle over. Is that correct? Is that the meaning of trundle? Like have a little walk over?
We're gonna go with it.
And then I could have brunch there, and then I'm going to obviously go to the Oilers game. So Tom and Belsey. Oh. Trundle means to push something on wheels or to cause something to roll along. I could take my little wheeled shopping, like I have one of those shopping baskets that you can pull.
or take like your
carriage.
carry-on.
I'll have to go buy a carriage.
Carry-on. just drag your carry-on behind you.
So, I could go over there and get some to eat, and then I'm fueled up for the Oilers game. And Tom and Hernan are on from 1 to 2 p.m. here on Edmonton Sports Talk for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, and then they'll have the postgame show after the Oilers and the Sabres. Oilers beat Vancouver last night. Sabres lost in Calgary. Sabres are 30th in the NHL. Not great.
Do you see this as a potential letdown for the Oilers, or do you think they're just at a different level right now?
I hope, like when I was on with Tom after the game on Tuesday, I said I had the vibe that there might be some bumps on this homestand. Like maybe it's a 3-3 homestand. And I just thought, you got some games without McDavid. You got some points that were somewhat stolen with the comebacks, or maybe a series of results that were happier than expected, given how some of the first periods went. And I just thought, you don't have McDavid. Buffalo actually usually plays fairly well at Rogers Place. The Leafs are coming in later, but then the Oilers were just so steady last night. And let's face it, they didn't play bad against Washington by any means. So I could be wrong, but this is kind of the linchpin game. If you lose to Buffalo, you're 1-2 on the homestand. And then they have Seattle, Toronto, Detroit. If you give one of those teams a win, then it is a 3-3 homestand. You beat Buffalo, you're back up to 2-1. Maybe you're looking at a 4-2 or a 5-1.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I especially, after that performance last night, right? And you said it. I mean, they hadn't dropped three games in a row since the start of the season. That team was very motivated last night, and it rolled over a lesser competitor. And that's what they should do to Buffalo. Now, it is a matinee. But
they've been better. Like they have this whole franchise history at being bad at matinees, going back to the good teams of the 80s. They're not that team anymore. They're actually pretty good in matinees. But then that's one of the themes today, and I think we have to recognize there has been, quite frankly, a remarkable consistency with this team. I mean, even those games against Colorado when they came back, and Minnesota and Chicago, well, why did they come back? Because they didn't play bad the entire game.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time they kind of played bad the entire game, would have that been Anaheim, the second game back after Christmas? So, yeah, they've had bad periods, but they've often still got something out of the game. And even as we talked about, they haven't lost 3 in a row in regulation since the start of the season. And again, they're 4th overall. Sure, there are flaws. Sure, there's some areas you'd like to upgrade for the playoffs. This is a really good team.
Yeah, I agree.
If they play, I think when they play a team like Buffalo, that if they play at or near their potential, then they would have to have a goalie steal the game for the opponent, or they'd have to have some massive gaffes along the way, right? So maybe they're doing everything well, but they just have 2 huge screw-ups that cost them a game. Like they're kind of at that point where they're that consistent.
You see Colorado and Boston are playing tomorrow at 11 a.m. our time? It's 1?
Yeah, so it's 1 in Boston. That's normal.
It's awfully early. That must really...
Not in Boston.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, think of this. What, would you say 95% of their games are played 7 o'clock or later?
I wouldn't, because there are more matinees in the States. It's more likely for an American team to play a 1 o'clock game on a Saturday or Sunday.
Be nice to get an Oiler, or maybe next time we have a former Oiler on, and talk about what were those matinee games like, because these are all creatures of habit. Mm-hmm. And for the Oilers, it's very few matinee games.
Yeah, the Canadian teams don't have as many. But the Oilers in the last few years have had more weekend matinees at home. Like when I started doing the games, there was hardly ever a weekend matinee at home. Let's do our game of the night for Play More Tables and Games.
Play more tables and games.
From ping pong and pool tables to darts and dome hockey, plus all the classic arcade action you could ask for, visit Canada's Game Room experts, locations in Edmonton and Calgary, or online at playmoregames.ca.
Play more tables and games.
I just love that. I don't know why. It's so good. My game of the night. Now, the Golden Bears hockey team is in Saskatchewan to play the Huskies. That's a great rivalry. Keep an eye on that one. In the NHL, I will go Golden Knights at Stars. I think it's obvious why. The Golden Knights are a point ahead of the Oilers for first in the Pacific Division. After tonight, the Oilers will have a game in hand. So if Vegas does not win this game, that would give the Oilers a chance to step into first place ahead of Vegas tomorrow. So those are my 2 games of the Knights. Well, can I give 3? Moose Jaw at Oil Kings. There's another good one.
Boom.
Rogers Place, 7
Just
o'clock.
did.
I gave 3.
Well, that's good because you took mine, which was Vegas at Dallas.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, that's just a
Well, you
just
can
a
have it
matchup.
too.
Well, no, I'm gonna
yeah.
go to much more local, much more focused here. It would be the Ardrossan Junior High Senior Girls team is in a tournament down at Harry Ainley. I believe they've got a game starting at 6:15 that I will be scurrying over to.
Oh, nice.
So it's I don't even know who they're playing. Doesn't matter. Just have fun. Hey, kids, have fun.
Barry the Cheater in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. By the way, let's rally to get to 150.
I got 2
We're
ready to
almost
go.
there.
I got 2 locked and loaded.
Yeah, for word of the day. Barry the Cheater says, okay, I just finished watching The Hangout. Barry, could you not go back and watch The Hangout after you watch this show live, first of all? He goes, I am mind blown. Corey G claimed to be a thief and hung up on Glue Guy. This is no bueno.
Bueno. No bueno.
Is that what happened? No bueno.
Yeah, he hung up on me.
I didn't see that part of it.
So Maddie got his laptop. He's like, okay, well, I can see who Chris G is. He's won prizes. So he had his phone number. So Maddie put it into his phone. It didn't come up as anybody he knows. Tom did the same.
Yeah,
I did the same. So we're like, well, screw this. Let's call the guy. So he answered the phone like this. And he put on a fake voice.
But this isn't the guy who said that he was Chris G.
Yeah, this is the guy that said he was Chris G. We had Chris.
Oh, so did he mean
D.
to put Chris G in the Nasty Chat?
No.
Anyway,
Oh,
okay.
yes, he did. He did. Not
Okay.
Corey G. Chris
Okay,
G.
sorry.
And it was just, if you haven't, after the show today or later tonight or over the weekend, go back and rewatch that hangout. It gets underway like bang off the start. It was.
Because I watched about the first half hour, and then I hopped in the shower, and then when I was driving to work, I was on the phone with somebody, so I missed that chunk. So that's what I missed.
Yeah, it was excellent. Reid, as I mentioned earlier, I had my buddy Sickler over last night.
Great guy.
And we were talking about, your track and field escapades and how we talk about it a lot on the. And Koob, if you have a couple of those images, throw them up. Whenever you get them, throw them up.
I didn't know this was. I love how you do this. I don't know these things are happening.
For those that don't know, and if you're watching on YouTube,
that's not real. That can't be real.
This is the 100-yard dash. He's not.
That's
completed.
not the end of the
He's
race.
not completed.
Oh, I thought that. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So Reid has taken over the track and field.
No, but
here
you're
at
the
ESC.
record holder in the 100 meters.
I hold the record in the 100 meters. So we were talking about it, and he says, "Hey, you know our mutual friend Kelly?" I said, "Yeah." He said he has a stand-up track and field arcade in his garage, dedicated stand-up track and field game. Koob will get the picture of it. You remember,
yeah,
like what you played at the Evansburg, arcade. And I said, "Huh?
Oh my God,
Kelly's out by the he's well west of the city
What's
as
his
well."
address?
He's well west of the city as well. So he texted me a picture of his unit. And I asked, where'd you get it? And he said he got it from a guy that used to have an arcade. And I said, there might be a chance, Reid, that the track and field arcade that is in my mutual and Sickler's Mutual's friend's garage is from the Evansburg arcade. Could you believe that?
It could be.
Would you be able to recognize
So that's
it?
not a retro one that he's purchased recently.
That's an actual
That's one that
unit.
was in an arcade somewhere.
That's Konami.
Oh my God.
That's the real deal, baby. Do you think...
Oh my God.
Do you notice anything on there that might suggest that it is from the Evansburg arcade?
Unfortunately, no.
Did you ever scribe your name on the side?
I didn't use it that much. Oh, look how far apart the buttons are.
That's what I said.
That'd be harder
For you, twinkle fingers over there.
Well, for the running would be the same.
Running, but then to skip to the jump would be hard.
Yeah. I'd figure it out. Long jump's my specialite.
I just think I just think the story behind it is too good not to at least.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Imagine if that game, that little Reid Wilkins, who used to take his 75 cents, 3/4 worth down to the Evansburg arcade, is sitting in my buddy's garage.
Wow, this is shocking.
Isn't this amazing?
This is outstanding. Well, how fast is he?
I don't know.
You're the 100 meters. Okay, Jay's time in the 100 meters, 9.24 seconds. Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's and then Reid's got every other record. Although you do share one with YTT
hammer,
the hammer throw.
And you and I shared javelin for a while, and then you were watching me a couple of days ago. I had that. I all of a sudden beat the javelin record by 3 meters, like just out of the blue. Man, I love that game. But I literally have injured my fingers, the tips of my fingers, by hammering the keys to run. So I've limited myself to 1 game per day for the last. Well, that's not true. I limited myself to 1 game per day Wednesday and Thursday. I did play twice today, but I won't be here on the weekend.
That's what you said. Now you do have keys, so we're gonna have to make sure the security cameras are on all weekend. Quaddy says, I put more hours in on that track and field arcade game than any game ever. The Games Gallery in Yorkton, Saskatchewan.
Oh, that's amazing.
Was the bomb at it in the 80s.
We need 3 thumbs. Like, just click them, everybody, or text people to do them. We need 3 thumbs to get to 150, and then it's a double word of the day from Jay Milne. We're going to talk to Joel Lennius from the Junior Oilers program. Something pretty cool happening at Rogers Place on the weekend. Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
A light NHL slate has Tampa Bay out in Chicago, Dallas hosting Vegas, the Flyers taking on the Islanders, while the Jets meet the Hockey Club. And out east, the Devils will miss Jacob Markstrom for up to 6 weeks after he suffered an MCL sprain Wednesday night, and this injury makes Markstrom questionable for the upcoming Four Nations face-off. And back in Edmonton, the Oil Kings hit the ice against the Warriors. The Cougars face the Wheat Kings, and Kelowna plays Kamloops. And the Golden Bears men's hockey team is also in action out in Saskatchewan to butt heads with the Huskies tonight and tomorrow. Down south, longtime Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll has signed with the Raiders on a 3-year deal, having a 4th-year option on the contract, while ESPN's Adam Schefter is reporting that, quote, the Bears are working to finalize a deal to make former Lions wide receiver coach Antoine Randall L. their new assistant head coach. Right now, on the court, the Hornets are up 37-24 on the Trailblazers, while the Cavaliers are down by 6 against the 76ers entering the second quarter. This sports update is brought to you by Sit and Sleep. Transform your home at a fraction of the cost during Sit and Sleep's winter clearance event. For massive discounts on major sleep brands to unbeatable deals on Canadian-made custom furniture, Sit and Sleep's winter clearance event is a can't miss. Plus, enjoy free local white glove delivery and special financing offers to help you bring home the best. Visit Sit and Sleep today in South Common, next to Planet Fitness. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show on this lovely Friday comes on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf, oh sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
All right, hope you have a great Friday night ahead of you. We're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown, personal injury law firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. JamesHBrown.com. Book your private consultation today. We love covering the Oilers and the Elks and all the great stuff going on, which in the city, which includes a lot of other levels of sport and hockey that we love to tell the story about as well. And something pretty cool coming up here to celebrate girls hockey on the weekend. I'm pleased to be joined by Joel Lenius. He's the Junior Oilers Program Director. Joel, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
Hey, guys. Good. How are you doing? Thanks for having me.
Doing very well. I think your first time on my new show. I know you're on Inside Sports a few times, so thanks for embracing the video element as well. You're the expert here. Junior Oilers White taking on the PWM Lloydminster Steelers. Used to cover them. I covered them when they started about 20 years ago. Tell us what's significant about this game here on Sunday.
Yeah, it's the second time we've been able to host this game at Rogers Place. Last year, our team, Junior Oilers White, we hosted Red Deer there. So this year we have Lloydminster, great team. They're young, they're physical, they're fast, and they have an excellent coach. And Dan Ockenberg, who coached in St. Albert for a really long time, very successful coach. So, yeah, very excited to host them. It's a league game, regular season game for us, and they've got a pretty good team, and we feel confident in ours. So just a real cool experience for the players and the coaches to be able to play there.
All right. So, Roger, it's a 1:15 game on Sunday?
1:15, yes.
And is it anybody can go? Like, just get, it's only $5 for tickets, or 15 for adults, 5 for, it's a pretty good price to get in.
15 for adults and 5 for kids. So tried to make it accessible. Yes.
All right. Now, I understand Junior Oilers White, they have not lost a game this season?
Yeah, we've had a successful season so far. We've 21 wins in a row, and hopefully we can continue. But the Lloydminster's a great team, and we're looking for some real good adversity before playoffs. So you never know what can happen. But yes, the team's had a successful season so far.
How excited are the players to play on an NHL ice surface?
Yeah, we had a couple of players from last year that were able to do it, and they were extremely excited, and some new ones this year on our team that are going to be able to participate. And I think they don't really know it till they get there. But as a coach, I think there's nothing more rewarding than just seeing the smiles on their faces and the excitement that comes with the experience and what they'll get to go through on Sunday for sure. So.
I should mention as well, junioroilers.ca for ticket info, or just more on the Junior Oilers in general. And what else is going on for fans? Like, is there some contesting and stuff like that?
Yeah, we have some contests to win some of the PWHL tickets. So I believe that game's in February, where Edmonton's hosting 2 teams from the PWHL. So win some tickets to that. And I think those tickets are sold out or pretty close to the general public. I think there's some other cool events for the fans. I think there's some poster making and bead contests and whatever else we have set up. So just a little bit more to it to get the fans a bit more involved and excited about being there.
So how large is this the U18 AAA league now for the girls?
We have 8 teams in it now. So we had 6 last year. We added 2 this year. So we added Sherwood Park and then another team from Calgary. So 8 teams now in Alberta.
And this has to be. This is obviously a very high level of hockey for this age group. So, have players already committed to U of A, Michigan, or wherever? Or are they still in the process of being recruited? How's all that playing out?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great question. So we have 20 players on our roster, and 17 of them have committed to scholarships. They're all either going U Sports or NCAA. I think 13 of them are on NCAA full scholarship. So, and the only 3 that don't are actually still too young to commit. So, So hopefully in the summertime, the three of them, and they're really talented, awesome youngsters. So hopefully they'll achieve their goals. But 17 of 20 have been able to move on. And I think for us as a coaching staff, that's the most rewarding, that they'll move on to something else. And so they achieve their goal, and hopefully we can help them be a little more ready when they get there, for sure.
Okay, well that's incredible, man. 17 out of 20, and the only 3 who can't do it yet. So it's just proof positive, right? You're building and giving the players opportunities. So Sunday, 1:15, Rogers Place, Junior Oilers White against the PWM Lloydminster Steelers, and they're hosting the national tournament at the end of the year.
Yes, yeah, they're hosting the SO Cup this year in late April. So
the old Civic Center, eh?
Yes,
I spent a few hours there. All right, did I miss anything important, Joel?
No, that's everything. Yeah, thanks so much for the support on the event and asking some good questions. And it's awesome hockey. I think a lot of people will be really surprised when they come down there and just see the level of play and talent of the girls. And this should be a really good game.
Okay, thanks for your time, Joel. Hope it's a huge crowd on Sunday and the team stays undefeated. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you both for having us. We appreciate it.
Joel Lennius, Junior Oilers Program Director. So Junior Oilers White against Lloydminster Sunday, Rogers Place, 1:15. To get your tickets, junioroilers.ca, the second annual Rogers Place Takeover, celebrating girls hockey, put on by Junior Oilers White. So that was some good stuff. Yeah, I was working in Lloyd when they started the PWM Steelers. It started playing in that league. So that's pretty cool. I hope that's a huge event for them, and awesome stuff. And man, oh man, a lot of players going on to the next level of female hockey. All right. We have, of course, the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. The Nasties have rallied, as they often do, and gotten us past 150 thumbs up. So that means it is indeed a double word of the day from Jay Milne to me. If for some reason you're new to the show, well, you'd be new to the show. That's the reason you'd be new to the show. Stick around, and we do a lot of fun stuff like the word of the day, which is sort of grown organically. We never really thought we would do this daily. We just started doing it for fun. So Jay gives me a word. I have to spell it and give out the definition. Or not give out the definition, try to figure out the definition. I have varying levels of success in this.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Samuel. You can go home now.
Okay, so we are doing double word of the day here. So I think both are attainable, certainly to spell. It would surprise me if you got 2 for 2.
Okay.
I will say
well,
that.
I've surprised you before.
You have. Okay, word number 1. Diverse.
What?
Diverse.
Like people who dive into a lake?
No.
And not diverse.
Correct.
What the heck is this?
Diverse.
This is a very stumpy word. So it's got to be something I don't expect. What language is it from? I'm going to do how Matt Sakaris did the other day. That doesn't help me at all. I don't know linguistics well enough. Why did I even ask that? That's embarrassing. I'm an embarrassment, everybody. Give me a thumbs down. Send me a picture of a thumbs down to my email. Read it at EdmontonSports.com.
Well, it is an adjective. Do you want me to use it in a sentence?
Sure.
Or do you want to spell it first?
Okay.
Don't overthink this, Reid.
Well, it's not spelled like divers.
I didn't say that.
Dievers. So then Divers. It's spelled like divers.
It's spelled exactly like divers.
Okay.
But it's diverse.
Diverse. So this is, oh my God. What do you call that? 2 words that are spelled the same but mean different? Not homonyms.
Ooh.
Antonyms. Maybe it is homonyms. Diverse. I don't
like
know.
Cooler and cooler. One keeps your stuff cool. One means you're a cool guy.
I guess, yeah. This word means
it's a bit of a trick.
This is a tricky one. Diverse. This is the process of diverging.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. That's amazing.
Diverse is an adjective meaning numbering more than one. So the Tri-County Fair offers diverse amusements for the whole family. It is commonly... Diverse is not a misspelling of diverse. It is a word in its own right. Both adjectives come from Latin diversus, meaning turning in opposite directions, and both historically could be pronounced either diverse, like the plural of the noun diver, or diverse.
I'm a little stunned by this word. First, you showed me the track and field machine. Now I know there's a word spelled like divers that is said diverse. I'm going to be rattled all weekend. I won't be able to concentrate on the Oilers game tomorrow. I'm going to be doing post game with Knobloch, and I'll be like, Chris, did you know? First of all, 8-0 win, great. Did you know divers is not always divers when you see it? So what does divers mean?
Diverse is an adjective meaning numbering more than one.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
So you could say that Vinny Desharnais had a diverse number of penalties.
Yeah, it is a gotcha word of the day. My apologies, Reid.
No, that's I like learning. I'm obviously not going to know all of these.
I hope to make it up here on the second one.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, Samuel, come back.
Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Samuel Jackson, keep him on retainer. Just to live voice the word of the day intro.
Okay, are we all ready? This is a verb.
I thought there was music to go along with this today.
Coop's playing it.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
It's the thinking music.
I was thinking so hard I couldn't hear it.
Oh my gosh, you were in the zone.
I can't hear it.
It's not on right now.
Oh, okay.
I'll go like this when it's on, okay? The second word of the day.
The big Uke sent me a thumbs down to my email. It's like an emoji. It's an emoji guy.
No.
Ooh, you suck.
Ablactate. Ablactate.
You weren't playing that before.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. I would have heard that.
He was. You were really in your thoughts.
Ablactate?
Ablactate.
Ablactate. Ablactate.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say this is a type of granite or that type of material. Type of marble. I don't know, something like that. Okay, well, I just got to guess something. I should have let the music inspire my thinking more. Sorry, can you play the thinking music again? I didn't let it seep into my brain enough. Yeah. Ablactate.
Brother, this guy stinks.
This was 100% on the first word. Ablactate.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
Samuel Jackson, by the way, also the trumpet there.
Okay. The definition for ablactate.
Yes.
To wean.
To wean?
Wean. To wean.
I can't take it anymore.
The parents decided to ablactate their twins following their pediatrician's advice. The zookeepers ablactated the tiger cubs by introducing soft food over a few weeks.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
Well, that's a long way to say wean when you can just say wean. Because it's not a type of weaning.
I agree.
Like sometimes it'll be, okay, it's weaning, but it doesn't mean exactly weaning. You specify the type of weaning or whatever.
Well,
I object to ablactate.
Okay, but if you think about it.
Not that you used it, that it
right.
exists.
If you think about it, though, ab means to take away, and lactate, obviously.
Dear Oxford, I find the word ablactate. Sorry, you were explaining the meaning?
Well, ab meaning away, and lactate meaning to give
I didn't
milk.
even think of that it had lactate in it.
Take away milk is to wean you off your mother.
But I just don't think we need both wean
You
and
don't.
ablactate.
Why would you say ablactate when you can say wean?
I'm gonna try to like if someone's like, you got a nicotine patch? Are you trying? Or I guess ablactate would only relate to
milkish things.
Yeah, where you can wean yourself off other things, can't you? Or does okay? I got a ding. I must have said something correct in all that. All right, Koob, how are you today? You feeling better?
We doing good.
You did a good job.
Tech issues are no more. It seems like,
stuff happens. What are you gonna do? We had a good show. We had a good week. Hope you had a good week as well. Hope you have a great weekend ahead. Big games on Sunday, the AFC and NFC championship games. Jay and I are both picking the Commanders.
I don't know about that.
I am picking the Chiefs. Jay is picking Buffalo on the other side. Coop, who are you picking? Just the teams.
Anybody but the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Okay. Dinner's ready, mama. Okay, so tomorrow, 10 a.m. to noon, Hello Hockey with Tom and Belzy from Local on Jasper Ave. And then at 1 o'clock, Tom's on with Hernan for the Oil Stream pregame show, Oilers Sabres at 2. I'll be going to that game, and I'll probably hop on the postgame show with them afterwards. Big thanks to Zachary Kubusch. On behalf of the glue guy, Jay Milne, my name's Reid Wilkins. Take care, folks.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.